So today we're going to talk about how to prepare or what to prepare for the Maccabees Perils, the Maccabees Perils. But we want to open up with, see, my thumbnail didn't look as good as yours, bro. Yours was fire. His thumbnail was fire. I mean, mine was good. It was good, but yours was like, ah! No. We're going to open up with our president of Syria. The president of Syria, I want to open up with this guy, President al-Assad. Is his name? Al-Assad. Okay. Is IT, we got the A team here in the back or the B team? Is the A team? All right. All right, let's take a look. Watch this. Hey, who's reading for me?
Captain Yedaya, Bishop.
Yedaya, can you read that on this? Because it's he's speaking in Arabic.
Yes,
or
sir.
Syrian, I'm sorry. You got to read the subtitles.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go. Can you blow it up bigger?
Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The question on everybody's mind is, how is it that despite the German collapse and European constraints, Nazism was allowed to rise and build an army? It was done with American support, money, loans, and investments. There is no evidence that 6 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. Perhaps there were Holocausts, nobody denies this. True, there were concentration camps. But what shows you that this is a politicized issue and is not a humanitarian issue and is not real. How come we talk about these 6 millions but not about the 26 million Soviets killed in that war? Are those 6 million more precious? The same acts were everywhere. There was no method of torture or killing specific to the Jews. The Nazis used the same method everywhere. However, this issue was politicized in order to falsify the truth and later to prepare for the transfer of the Jews from Europe to other areas, or rather to Palestine. The Jews who came to Palestine are Khazar Jews.
What?
The Jews who came to Palestine are Khazar Jews from east of the Caspian Sea. They were pagans who converted to Judaism in the 8th century. They immigrated to Europe and from there came to this region. They have nothing to do whatsoever with the ancient people of Israel.
Wow! Now that's some good stuff right there. That's some good stuff right there when world leaders is speaking the truth. That's what we love. That's what we love. Now, all praise to the Most High. I want to open up with why was Christ assassinated? In the book entitled The Story of Civilization, it might be at the bottom. It's orange. The Story of Civilization, Caesar and Christ by Will Durant. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Yes, that's the book. Put it on the screen. And let's go into the book. Captain Yedaya.
Yes, sir.
Did you put the proper pages there for them?
Yes, sir.
Okay, come on. Read it for me.
All right. Pull up.
I got it on the screen. Is this what you want on the screen?
Yeah, pull up 565. Not that page. Go to 565 first. It's the fourth one from the bottom. All right. Many have interpreted the kingdom.
Wait, can y'all highlight that? Because I don't know where he's reading at. Okay, right there. Y'all, can everybody see that? All right, go ahead.
Many have interpreted the kingdom as a communist utopia and have seen in Christ a social revolutionist. Next page. Right under it. Right under it. 566 now.
Come on, IT, come on.
All right. The revolution he sought was a far deeper one.
Now, who's the he they're talking about?
Christ.
Christ. All right, very good. Go ahead.
The revolution he sought was a far deeper one, without which reforms could not only be superficial and transitory.
It says could only be.
Without which reforms could only be superficial and transitory. If he could cleanse the human heart of selfish desire, cruelty, and lust, utopia would come of itself. And all those institutions that rise out of human greed and violence and the consequent need for law would disappear. Since this would be the profoundest of all revolutions. Christ was in this spiritual sense the greatest revolutionist in history.
Y'all see that right there? Read that bottom part again. Read it again. Read it again.
Christ was in this spiritual sense the greatest revolutionist in history.
Read it one more again. One more. I just like the way it sounds.
Christ was in this spiritual sense the greatest revolutionist in history.
The greatest revolutionist in history.
That's right.
Wow.
Last page right under that.
Next page. Come on.
The fourth gospel reports that the crowd hailed him as king of Israel. Apparently, his followers still thought of him as a political messiah who will overthrow the Roman power and make Judea supreme. It was these acclamations that doomed Christ to a revolutionist death.
So, you know what? It proves Christianity doesn't know what they're talking about. They got us thinking Christ was murdered because he just loved and kissed everybody. That's not historically correct. This, what we're reading, is history, what actually happened and why he was assassinated. Because that's what he was. Crucifixion is another word for assassination. Everybody understand that? I hope y'all do. Was that it?
The first page under the cover.
Hold on, Bishop. You forgot about white people. That's what he was dead. White people killed.
Yes, sir.
So-called white people, red people.
538. Although they were tortured and racked, burnt and torn to pieces.
Who's the they? That's his disciples, right? Go ahead.
Although they were tortured and racked, burnt and torn to pieces, and went through every torment to force them either to blaspheme their legislator or to eat what was forbidden them.
Wait, stop right there. Now, this is about the followers of Christ. See that part right there? Or to eat what was forbidden them. Remember, the Greeks did that. The Greeks did the same thing. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yet could they not be made to do either of them? No, nor once to flatter their tormentors or to shed a tear. But they smiled in their very pains and laughed those to scorn who tortured them and gave up their souls in great cheerfulness as expecting to receive them again.
Hey, that's why Paul said to be absent in the body is the what, brothers? Be present with the Lord. They understood that thing on a high level. Okay? Yes, sir. They didn't shed a tear.
That's
no tears.
right.
They smiled. Remember the movie Birth of a Nation with Nat Turner? Remember when they was whooping him, he was in the stocks. He just smiled and he looked up, and then when they was going to kill him, he was smiling. But that's the same thing they did here. Give me Acts chapter 8. Acts chapter 8. So what we're going to do is prepare you all. Many of the classes that's been coming out in recent is preparing you for what is to come. Don't sleep. Don't snooze. Acts 8:1.
The book of Acts, chapter 8, verse 1. And Saul was consenting unto his death.
A lot of times Christians think that Saul was the only persecutor of the church. He's the one that's highlighted because why? he converted. He repented. That's why he's highlighted. But there was thousands of other other inquisitors. I'll use that terminology. How about that? Good.
And at that time, there was great persecution against the church, which was at Jerusalem. And they were all scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles.
So all the disciples got scattered except the 12. Except the 12. Go ahead.
And devout men carried Stephen to his burial and made great lamentation over him.
Right, because they assassinated Stephen for teaching the gospel. Go ahead.
As for Saul, he made havoc of the church.
Pay close attention. They made havoc of the church. Go ahead.
Entering into every house.
Entering into every house. Go ahead.
And hailing men and women, committed them to prison.
Hailing men and women, meaning they dragged them out of their homes, their houses, and committed them to prison. Go ahead.
Therefore, they that were scattered abroad went everywhere preaching the word.
That didn't stop the gospel. See, that's what Esau thinks. They think if they are in prison or assassinate some of us, that this truth is going to stop. Devil, you ain't stopping nothing. We want you to understand that. We're going to go harder and harder harder teaching this gospel. Give me John 21. John 21, let's read verse 18 and 19.
The book of John, chapter 21 and verse 18.
This is what Christ speaking to Peter.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou wast young, thou girdest thyself.
You put your garments on yourself. Go ahead.
And walkest whither thou wouldest.
You walked wherever you wanted to go. Go ahead.
But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands.
You shall stretch forth your hands.
And another shall gird thee, and carry thee whither thou wouldest not.
You stretching forth your arms because you got cuffs on. You got handcuffs on.
This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify God. And when he had spoken this, he saith unto him, follow me.
See, just repeat it. Follow me. 2 Ezra 7:28. Pay close attention.
2 Ezra chapter 7 and verse 28. For my son Jesus shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
400 years from the time of Ezra is when Christ came on the earth. And those brothers and sisters that were with him rejoiced when he came. Read that again.
For my son Jesus shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall my son Christ die.
He was assassinated. He was crucified in the first century. Go ahead.
And all men that have life.
And all men that have life. Meaning everybody that followed the teachings of Christ also were killed, assassinated, murdered. Okay. Read.
And the world shall be turned to the old silence.
The old silence is the dark age period. Go ahead.
7 days. Like as in the former judgments, so that no man shall remain.
So now I just want to pause. No, keep going.
And after 7 days, the world that yet awaketh not shall be raised up.
That's what y'all see. You brothers and sisters are evidence of the world awaking now. Go ahead.
And that shall die that is corrupt.
Those that are corrupt shall die. Now let's go to the next book. Let's go to the next book. Shout out to Officer Jeraham for this book, and Captain Shemaiah for going through it. My eyes hurt. This is, read that.
Fox's Book of Martyrs by John Fox.
Let's go inside. Go ahead, let's read that.
Domitian. You want me to start at Domitian, Bishop?
No, I don't want you to start at Domitian. Pause that one. Go to the next page. Give me the next page. Wait a minute. Let me look. Yeah, give me the next page. I went to the next page. With Bartholomew. Bartholomew's Nathaniel. Yeah, start right there.
Bartholomew. Tradition says he preached in several countries, then translated the Gospel of Matthew into the language of East Indian and taught it in that country. His pagan enemies cruelly beat and crucified him.
So that's chronicling the death of Bartholomew. That was one of the 12. Go ahead.
Thomas preached the gospel in Persia, Parthia, and India, In Kalmina, India, he was tortured by angry pagans, run through with spears, and thrown into the flames of an oven.
Wow. Give me the next page. No, I want the next one. I didn't put them in order. I'm sorry. It's my fault. It says Matthew. Yeah. Give me that one.
Matthew. Little is known about the Apostle Matthew's later life and the time and manner of his death, but legendary accounts say that he traveled to Ethiopia, where he became associated with Candace, Acts 8:27. Some writings say he was pinned to the ground and beheaded with a halberd in the city of Nadaba, Ethiopia, in circa AD 60.
Wow. Go ahead.
James the Less. This James was the brother of Jesus and the writer of the epistle. He seems to have been leader of the church at Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm. Next page. Zoom in at the top. The highlighted. Yeah, go ahead.
But Hegesippus, an early Christian writer, quoted by the 3rd century Christian historian Eusebius, says James was cast down from the temple tower. This version of his death further states that he was not killed by the fall, and so his head was smashed in with a fuller's club.
Damn!
Which may have been a club used to beat clothing or a hammer used by blacksmiths.
Wow. Go down to Mark. Yeah, right there.
You want Mark?
Andrew, and we want Andrew and Mark.
Yes, sir. Andrew. In Edessa, by being crucified on an X-shaped cross, which came to be known as St. Andrew's Cross.
Go to the next one.
Mark. Tradition says he was dragged to pieces by the people of Alexandria when he spoke out against a solemn ceremony for their idol Serapis.
What's the next one?
Peter. The only account that we have of the martyrdom of the Apostle Peter is from the early Christian writer Hegesippus. His account includes a miraculous appearance by Christ.
Okay. Give me the next one.
The 5th persecution, starting with Emperor Lucius Septimius Severus, AD 193 to 211. For a short period, Severus was favorable toward Christians because it was said he had recovered from a severe fit of sickness after being ministered to.
Now, remember I told you before about Septimius Severus. He was Jake, but guess what? He followed Rome too. Go ahead.
But it wasn't long before the prejudice and fury of Rome's citizens prevailed and obsolete laws were revived and used against the Christians. And once again, they were blamed and punished for every natural misfortune that occurred.
Damn.
Regardless of the renewed persecution, the church and gospel stood firm and bright through it. And the Lord increasingly added to his body throughout the Roman Empire.
Hey, give me the one that says the 4th persecution under Roman, under Imperial Marcus Aurelius. Yeah, right there. I want y'all to pay close attention to this one because this may be some of you in here.
The 4th persecution under Emperor Marcus Aurelius Antoninus.
So this goes to what we read in 2nd Ezra 7 about in all men that had life died. Go ahead.
The cruelties against Christians in this persecution were so inhuman that many of those who watched them shuddered with horror and were astonished at the courage of the sufferers. Some of the martyrs had their feet crushed in presses and were then forced to walk over thorns, nails, sharp shells, and other pointed objects. Others were whipped until their sinews and veins were exposed. Then, after suffering the most excruciating tortures that could be devised, they were killed in terrible ways. Yet, few turned from Christ or begged their torturers to lessen their pains.
Mm-hmm. Can you raise it up? Was that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me, let me see. Oh, it's the last page. The very last one is what I want. Yeah, it says a Christian at the top.
Hey, Bishop,
Yeah.
you know how when it say Christian there, you all online understand the Christians is the real Christians is talking about Israelites that's following after Christ. That's the real Christians. It ain't talking about these, what you see running on, these people running around today calling themselves Christians.
Right.
Okay?
Get that in Acts 11:26 real quick to back that up.
The book of Acts, chapter 11 and verse 26. And when he had found him, he brought him unto Antioch. And it came to pass that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church and taught much people. And the disciples were called Christians first in Antioch.
So the disciples of Christ was first called Christian. The word Christian means anointed ones. All right, so let's go back to this book. I want y'all to pay close. This is what I want y'all to see. Watch this.
A Christian put into a leather bag with several snakes and scorpions, and then thrown into the sea. A young man, Peter, who was known for the superior qualities of his mind and body, refused to sacrifice to the goddess Venus when told to do so. In his defense, he said,
remember, this is during the time of Rome. Go ahead.
I'm amazed that you sacrificed to an infamous woman whose debaucheries your own writings record, and whose life consisted of such perverted actions as your laws would punish. No, I shall offer the true God the acceptable sacrifice of praises and prayers. When the governor of Asia, Optimus, heard this, he ordered that Peter be stretched upon a wheel until all his bones were broken and then beheaded.
Now watch this. Go ahead.
A weak Christian.
Uh-oh. You better make sure this ain't you. Go ahead.
A weak Christian, Nicomachus, was brought before Optimus and ordered to sacrifice to the pagan idols. Nicomachus replied, I cannot pay the respect to devils that is due only to the Almighty. He was immediately placed on the rack, and after enduring his torments for only a short time, recanted his faith in Christ.
Recanted his faith in Christ. Meaning he started to blaspheme. He gave up his faith. Go ahead.
As soon as he was freed from the rack, he was seized with a great agony and fell to the ground and died.
He got put to death anyway. He got put to death anyway. A lot of you think, well, if I just give it up, I'm going to save my life. No, you're going to get put to death regardless. Go ahead.
Seeing what seemed to be a terrible judgment, Denisa, a 16-year-old girl who was among the observers, exclaimed, "O unhappy wretch, why would you buy a moment's ease at the expense of a miserable eternity?"
A miserable eternity.
When Optimus heard this, he called her to himself. And when Denisa confessed that she was a Christian, he had her beheaded.
That's the kind of faith brothers and sisters need right there. The faith of a 16-year-old girl. 16 years old. Yeah, you can give the Lord a hand for that thing. Because the Negro that gave up after a few seconds and dropped dead, he's going to get an eternity of damnation in the lake of fire.
That's right.
Yep, these are all Negroes. Yep. Read that one right there.
In Alexandria, Alexander and Epimachus were arrested for being Christians. When they confessed that they were beaten with thick sticks, torn with hooks, and then burned to death. On the same day, 4 female martyrs were beheaded. Their names are unknown.
See that? So notice it says when they confessed that they were Christians. It wasn't no, I'm not. I'm gonna make believe I'm not a follower of Christ. They didn't do that. Some of y'all, I heard when we was on the cruise, some brothers were saying stupid things like that. Some of y'all know up here on the podium, oh, maybe we shouldn't dress like Israelites. Y'all heard that foolishness. Hey, we shouldn't. I don't know.
That's why Christ said we.
Somebody, see your brothers buying Hawaiian shirts. Somehow. I'm going to go incognito. Go ahead.
Yeah, Bishop, this goes back to Christ saying that if you don't confess me before men, I'm not going to confess you before the Father. Right. You cannot hide who you are. Right. You cannot hide the truth. We cannot do that, brothers. We got to confess and stand strong in what we believe in, even though persecution come with it.
Exactly. Revelation 6 and 9, please. Revelation 6 and 9.
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 9.
Okay, hold on. What's wrong with the cameras? Something wrong with our cameras? Okay, I'm Deacon Isaac. That's Dallas. Go ahead. Where we at?
Revelation chapter 6 and verse 9.
Come on.
And when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that was slain for the word of God and for the testimony which they held.
That's what all that we just read. So it wasn't just the 12 that was assassinated for following Christ. It was all those believers, some of which we just read. And only the book is thick. I just read a little bit. We just read a few. Go ahead.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
So they wanted vengeance. They wanted vengeance. That's what Christ said in Luke 18. Y'all remember that Luke 18? Where Christ said, pray for vengeance. Hey, let me help you out of something. Hey, give me Luke 18 real quick. I'm coming back here. I just got to show y'all. I just got to show you. The question often is, why did the white man blame the Christians, the black and Latino Jews, for everything? Because of Luke 18. Read that right there.
The book of Luke, chapter 18 and verse 1.
Wait, let me get it. I ain't with you with it. Hold on. Let me get it with you. Let me get it with you. Okay, okay, go ahead.
And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint.
Never stop praying. That's what Christ has said. Don't give up. Go ahead.
Saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not God, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city.
Give me the precept for the widow in Lamentations 1:1. The widow. Who's that widow?
The book of Lamentation, chapter 1 and verse 1. How doth the city sit solitary that was full of people? How is she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations and princess among the provinces. How is she become tributary?
Right. Give me Isaiah 54:4.
Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 4. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shalt not remember the reproach of thy widowhood.
Of thy what?
Of thy widowhood anymore.
Come on.
For thy maker is thine husband.
God is our husband. Go ahead.
The Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called.
Read.
For the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken.
He called us as a woman forsaken. Go ahead.
And grieved in spirit, and a wife of youth, when thou wast refused, saith thy God.
So now we know who this widow is. It's Israel. Let's go back to Luke 18 and verse 3.
The book of Luke, chapter 18 and verse 3. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, Avenge me of mine adversary.
That word adversary means enemies. Go ahead.
And he would not for a while.
So this one widow, Israel, was asking and asking, but the judge wouldn't do nothing for a while. Go ahead.
But afterward he said within himself.
But afterward he said within himself.
Though I fear not God, no regard man.
Come on.
Yet, because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me.
Go ahead.
And the Lord said, Hear what the unjust judge saith.
Now here's the breakdown in verse 7.
And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them?
Go ahead.
I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?
So that last part, nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth, meaning some of you won't believe. Some of you will give up and go back into Christianity. Okay? It's not right to pray for vengeance. It's not. That's what your mindset is. I know when I first heard this truth, the first thought that came was a Christian evil thought of, that's evil to pray for vengeance. Because I was taught by my mother and father, the church, that vengeance is the Lord's. Put it in God's hands. Just sit there and let them do whatever you want. Let them do whatever they want to you. The hell is this? Christ, the revolutionary, said pray for vengeance. This is why every catastrophe that happened on the earth was blamed on our people. And rightfully so. Because we're praying for that thing right there. We want vengeance. Let's go back to Revelation. Revelation 6 again. And what verse was you at?
Verse
10 again, 10.
Verse 10. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 10. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
You would think the parents of Rasheem Carter, the parents of Tamir Rice, the parents of Sandra Bland, we go there and we tell, hey, let's pray for vengeance. Here comes the minister. No, that's not Jesus. That's not Christ-like. This is the pushback. George Floyd, put the pictures back up. Put it back up. They ain't got to see me. We need to pray for vengeance for what occurred to Sandra Bland, George Floyd, Tamir Rice. Pray for vengeance because there's no justice on the earth. All these brothers and sisters who got no justice on the earth, we're supposed to sit back and just let it ride. Look at this. Just sit back and let it ride. No! Pray for the storm, for the rain, for the earthquake, for the devastation, for the death. Well, that's what we're supposed to do. Y'all understand what the Bible is saying? Yes, that's what God said to do. That's what he said. I'm only going to tell you what the Bible say. Where we at?
Verse 10.
You get mad if you want online. I don't give a damn. Tell you what the Bible say. Come on.
That's right.
And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
So when we die, we asking for vengeance till we praying for vengeance. Go ahead.
And white robes were given unto every one of them.
That's the celestial body. Go ahead.
And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season.
This little season is a few hundred years. That's all. Go ahead.
Until their fellow servants also.
The fellow servants is you and I. Until their fellow servants also, go ahead.
And their brethren.
That
should be killed as they were, should be fulfilled.
See, our time got to come now. Our death must come. We must be martyrs for this truth to prove that we're worthy to enter the gates of the kingdom. You ain't getting into the kingdom based on your good looks. I'm sorry, brothers, it ain't happening. Sisters, I don't care how big your things are, you're not getting in like that. If we are not willing to sacrifice our lives for the Son of God who gave his life for us, you ain't getting in. Everybody understand that? You play games in Christianity all you want. Give me a second, Ezra 5:42.
The book of Second.
The brothers and sisters that died as a result of COVID, guess what they asking for? Vengeance. Because in the spirit realm, they know they was put to death because of the diseases that this white man put out. Where we at?
2 Ezra, chapter 5, verse 42. Mm-hmm. And he said unto me, I will liken my judgment.
My judgments
unto a ring.
A ring, which is a circle. Go ahead.
Like as there is no slackness of the last.
No slackness of the last, meaning it don't slow down. Go ahead.
Even so, there is no swiftness of the first.
And there's no swiftness of the first. That means there's a steady rotation of God's judgments. A steady rotation that goes on and on. Put it on the screen. On and on. Until Christ's return, these judgments will continue upon the earth. This is why we went from Egyptian captivity, Assyrian captivity, we had Babylonian captivity, Persian Mede captivity, Greek captivity, Roman captivity, American captivity, European captivity, Arab captivity. And so when is it going to stop? It's not until Christ's return.
That's right.
So now we know prophetically that Esau is the last of the Gentile rulers. So we know this is the last one right here before Christ's return. 1 Peter 4:17.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God.
It always starts with us, brothers. Sisters, it always starts with us. Why? Because here's the priest. Give me Amos 3:1. This is why. Why I gotta start with us? This is why. I'm gonna give you the precept.
Amos chapter 3.
Verse 1.
Yes, sir. Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel.
He's speaking against us. Go ahead.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Against
saying,
all 12 tribes which you brought up from Egypt, saying, go ahead.
You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
He gave us his word. He gave us his laws. He gave us his judgments and statutes. And as a result, what? Read.
Therefore,
I
will punish you for all your iniquities.
So he gave us the laws. So he said, therefore, I will punish you. It starts with us. Go back to 1 Peter 4:17. We supposed to know better. We are God's chosen. We are his heirs. We are his elect. He gave us his laws, his statutes. He didn't give it to the other nations. So judgment starts with us, whether you acknowledge it or not. Read
That's
that.
right.
1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God?
If we got punished like this, hell, you better believe the other nations. Watch the hell they gonna catch. Acts 14:22. Acts 14:22.
The book of Acts, chapter 14, verse 22.
Listen good.
Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith.
So we exhort all of you, continue in this faith. Go ahead.
And that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God.
Read that last sentence again. That we
must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of God.
Whoever told you it's going to be a bed of roses? I don't know what Bible some of you are reading. It's going to. That's why Christ was a revolutionary. That's why we are revolutionaries.
That's right.
Books out there, books that say Christ was the ultimate militant. Okay, that's why in the book of Luke it said he was an austere man. When you look that word up, can you look up austere for us? And give me the scripture in Luke where he calls him an austere man. Look up austere for us. Y'all keep playing thinking he was some homosexual running around with long white hair, long blonde hair, playing with babies all the time. He had a nice side to him. Kids liked him. Read that. And let me know, you die when you got it.
I got it, Bishop.
Okay, read it.
The book of Luke, chapter 19 and verse 21. For I feared thee, because thou art an austere man.
So he said, I feared thee, talking to Christ, because thou art an austere man. Can we look up that word austere? Put it on the screen.
Austere, severe or strict in manner, attitude, or appearance.
Y'all see that? Read the similar words.
Severe, stern, strict, harsh, unfeeling.
Christ, don't you care about my feelings? Yeah, when women always, doesn't the Lord care about my feelings? What did that word right there say?
Unfeeling.
He don't care about your feelings. You and only you care about your feelings. Don't nobody give a damn.
That's right.
Don't you care about my goddamn feelings? No! Nobody cares. Take an aspirin. Get over it. God said, the Bible says, the Son of God is unfeeling. Whoa! It's like, wow. Go ahead.
Stony.
Stony.
Steely. Flinty. Grim. Cold.
Go ahead.
Frosty. Frigid. Unemotional.
Unemotional. He don't have emotional damage.
Emotional.
He ain't got that. He ain't got. And look at that next word.
Unfriendly.
Wow. So when you saw Christ, it's like, wow. You don't know if you could just run up on him and say, hey, let me talk to you. You didn't know what kind. I'm not sure. Hey, when you read in the scriptures, remember he went to that temple. Y'all keep forgetting what he did. When he whipped everybody in the temple. Threw over the tables. So he wasn't a little small guy.
I got that for you, Bishop.
You got it for me. Read that.
The book of John, chapter 2 and verse 15. And when he had made a scourge of small cords.
He made a whip. Go ahead.
He drove them all out of the temple. And the sheep and the oxen. And poured out the changers' money.
Imagine you messing with somebody's money. Yo, that's my money. You can play with Christ. Go ahead.
And overthrew the tables. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Wow. Y'all see that? Do y'all understand that? Christ wasn't that wimpy dude. Wimpy. He wasn't that yellow makes me sad. He wasn't always sitting around crying. He wasn't always sitting around in his emotions. Give me 2 Ezra 15:1. I don't know. I think women got the wrong mentality of on Christ. Because when they come up, when there's counsel, it's always, they're crying, don't you feel my emotions? No! That's why when they counsel, a lot of sisters, I don't want Bishop Nathaniel there. I wanted a West Indian brother there. I see y'all got that rap. Y'all got that rap. Yeah? The hell is that? That's Bishop Kanai. Where we at?
2nd Ezra, chapter 15.
Shout out to Bishop Kanai. Go ahead.
Verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people.
Hey, remember that thing when the girl, her thing blew up on Feast of Tabernacles? Her trailer caught on fire. And we trying to figure out what's going on. The group of women came up. We had a council to find out what's going on. Here, first thing the women do, brothers, the shoulders go up. The hands go like that. I'm sitting next to Bishop Kanai. I whisper, you better not fall for it. I want him to talk. I said, don't fall for this BS. Here come the tears. She's lying. Remember, keep saying to yourself, she's lying. She's lying. That way you get through the council. Where we at? I'm sorry.
2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 1.
Yeah, put it on the screen. Put it on the screen. Yeah, look at this. Down there, it's all a bunch of BS.
Emotional damage.
That's how I don't want Bishop Nathaniel at the council. Give me the where we at.
2nd Ezra 15.
Go ahead.
Verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth.
So we got to speak the words of prophecy, which the Lord has put in our mouth, which comes from this Bible. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
That's what you got in your hands right now, that paper right there. Go ahead.
Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
Can we look up the word incredulity? Incredulity. I-N-C-R-E-D-U-L. I don't know. This E-I-T-Y might not be there, but incred. I don't know. You know I'm black. I don't know. Help me. Oh, it is. It's a full word. All right. See that first word? Read that, Gediah?
Yes, sir.
Disbelief. Yediah. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Incredulity.
Start at the first sentence.
Yes, sir. The state of being unwilling or unable to believe something.
First word?
Disbelief.
Disbelief. Go ahead.
Incredulousness.
I don't know what that means. Next one?
Lack of belief.
Lack of belief.
Unbelief.
Unbelief. So now now let's go back to that sentence in verse 3 again.
Verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee.
Brothers, sisters, fear not the imaginations against thee. Go ahead.
Let not the incredulity.
Let not the unbelief. Let not the disbelief. Go ahead.
Of them trouble thee that speak against thee.
People going to speak against us in this truth. You're in the cult. You're a heretic. Don't worry about. They don't believe. The Bible already has told us, don't let their disbelief trouble you. Go ahead.
For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
God has prophesied, they all shall die in their unfaithfulness. Go ahead.
Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword.
What's war?
Famine. Death. And destruction.
He's seeing that now. Go ahead.
For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. And their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Their hurtful works are fulfilled. So wickedness has polluted the whole earth. Give me Acts 5:22. Let me show you what they did to the apostles, what they told them. Pay close attention.
The book of Acts, chapter...
I'm going somewhere. I just need y'all to roll with me. Go ahead.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 22. But when the officers came and found them not in the prison, they returned and told, saying, the prison truly found we shut with all safety, and the keeper standing without before the doors. But when we had opened, we found no man within. Now when the high priest and the captain of the temple and the chief priest heard these things, they doubted of them whereunto this would grow.
Talking about Peter and them. Go ahead.
Then came one and told them, saying, behold, the men whom ye put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people.
So they said, them dudes you arrested, they in the temple and they are teaching the people. Go ahead.
Then went the captain with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people.
Because the people loved the teaching. So they said, we can't beat them right now in front of the people because the people might turn on us. Go ahead.
Lest they should have been stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council. And the high priest asked them, saying,
watch close, verse 28. Go ahead.
Did not we straitly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us.
So they commanded them not to teach in the name of Christ. Christ Yahushua. There you go. Online, y'all feel better now? You feel good? I said Yahushua. So they said, don't teach in that name. Go ahead.
Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
Y'all see, that's our response. All of us should say the same thing. We ought to obey God rather than man. Mean believe and do what this Bible says. Go ahead.
The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Him hath God exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins.
So now, give me the map. Give me the map. Give me the map. I'm going to tell y'all something. Listen to good what I'm about to say. We're going to drop it now. All right. So y'all see the bottom in the Caribbean Sea. One of the three, read that for me, Captain Yediah.
Yes, sir.
One of the three ABC islands, along with Aruba and Bonaire.
So you got Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Those are the ABC islands. So during our quest to wake up the 12 tribes, we were in Curacao. We went to Aruba first, then we went to Curacao. Everybody with me so far? I need y'all to roll with me. In Curacao, we were met with the chief of police, who said, you cannot get off the boat until you meet with us. If you choose not to meet with us, nobody gets off the boat. So they was going to keep the entire boat hostage if nobody from IUIC met with them. I want you to think of the ramifications behind that. How do you think everybody else on the boat would have reacted to us? They would have hated our guts more so than they did. So in this meeting, Captain Matthias was there, Captain Arell was there. Me and Bishop Kanai, we was running down there to get there. We got there late. But anyway, Chief of Police was there, the Immigration Police was there, and Customs Police were there. They discussed what occurred in Aruba. Remember, Aruba and Curacao are Dutch colonies. They're under the Netherlands. Everybody with me, right? So here's when the meeting started. You see Captain Matthias, bottom left, right there. The woman, the tall, she looked like Brianna of Gath from the Game of Thrones. Big 6'3" woman. So she's the chief of police. And Customs is there on the right. Give me the next picture. So I'm giving y'all receipts. That's Immigration right there, the black woman with the white hair. The guy sitting next to her. Okay, so this is the meeting. You got the boats, captains, the boat captains are there in the back right there. They pulled out the boat manifest. You know, the manifest has everybody's name on it. They knew who Israel was. First, they read off all the Israelite names, like Nathaniel Israel, okay, Jan Israel, Zephaniah Israel. They knew the names. But then they pulled off names of brothers and sisters who did not change their names. Julio Iglesias, Michael Jackson. They already knew. I'm just saying those names funnily, but they already knew who was with us. Give me the next picture. Yeah, this is done. That's our second in command right there. Give me the next one. And we got video. I just chose not to show the video. I'm waiting to see what occurs. So this is a follow-up to Bishop Yahushua class. Okay, give me that. I'm showing you the times we in. Now, right there. Y'all see that right there? Hold on. Hold on. There's a video. Before we show that, there's a video of a sister. A sister saw the brothers in Curacao. She said, listen, she pulled up in her car. She said, hold up. I got something to tell y'all. See, we need sisters like this. Give me the video. Give me the video. Come on. Play it, raise the volume.
It's even on Facebook.
On Facebook too?
Sure. But do you understand what you mean?
We'll find it. We got people that
Habla español?
No, I don't.
So ask that question.
So hold on, pause in case y'all can't hear. She said, do you have people that understand Papiamento? Papiamento is a what they call a Negro language. It's made up of Spanish, French, Dutch, English, and French. Creole, I'm sorry. All mixed in one. Okay, so she asked, do we understand it? Because what the police did, they sent out a Facebook message to everybody in Curacao, okay, to beware of us. So this is what she's telling them. Go ahead.
Why everybody talking negative about us? No, that's for our leadership. Because they talking about us on the island. They're looking for us.
They said you guys are not allowed to touch our ground when you get off the boat.
No, they warn y'all. No.
See, wait, hold on. Because she said they warned that y'all are not to be teaching what y'all teach on this island. Go ahead.
A voice going around that if somebody sees you, we have to warn the police.
Stop. She said if anybody sees us, they are to warn the police. Go ahead.
But I was talking to my cousin because my cousin was dead.
Yeah.
So I told them, I saw a few of your people, but the people here are freedom. He said because they don't know the Bible. He said if you see them, show them this. This is my cousin, and he's now in Liberia, I think.
Okay. What's his name? To the Most High.
Neomar.
You probably know him. Most likely we know him.
Yes, I think so. He said I knew already that they were heading to kids.
Oh, let me see that picture one more time. So show me the Facebook where it says on Facebook. Wow, they warning them.
It's in a group of taxis. And I have nothing against anybody, so I thought let me just ask you. I believe it. Because my cousin is too. Here, they said these four are the ones that they're looking for.
Wow.
So they put a picture of four of you guys.
Wow, they're looking for them?
Yeah, the police.
So they were looking for me, Laba, Enoch, and Mattathias. That's a story behind this. Go ahead. Play
This is who they're looking for. This is the pictures that they put up who they're looking for. Y'all see that, right?
So, y'all tell y'all gotta know what we be going through when we doing this work. Hey, didn't we tell these young men, prepare yourselves, prepare yourselves, prepare yourselves.
That's right.
Give me the picture with she holds it up, and when she holds up the phone. Right, so we had that translated. Can y'all put the translation up I sent? Officer Ezekiel was able to translate it. He speaks the language. Read that.
Update. It is about approximately 50 religious persons that are problem makers, and they arrived today in Curacao. There is information that they are here to spread out all over the island, Aruba. Even some threatened people when they didn't receive the information that was being preached.
Do we threaten people if they don't believe? Just go. What the hell is this? Go ahead.
At Aruba, they did something like that, which cannot be tolerated, and wanted to prevent this at Curacao.
So Aruba had contacted Curacao because we had a big march and teaching in Aruba. Go ahead.
Some time ago, even on the local television, they had their presentation.
So Bishop Kanai was on TV, I was on TV, Labo was on TV. We had bam, 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 bam. We was hitting them. Go ahead.
Authorities together with VKC and other tactical team dealing with the situation.
They had a tactical team. Damn. Go ahead.
Update. They are already at Curacao, and they are possibly moving in 2 vans.
Let me tell y'all, they was following the brothers. We had teams set up. They was following the brothers in vans. Now, read the next part before I tell the story.
Note, a lot of police and VKC on foot, citizen police on foot, watching for the embarkment of some that are unwanted, that are coming to our island.
Wow. You don't find that suspicious?
These persons have made a lot of noise in Aruba, and for these reasons, they are not allowed to come to Curacao.
Y'all hear this? They don't want the revolutionaries in Curacao. Well, it's too late, devils. It's too late.
Hey, it says that it says these people made a lot of noise.
That's right.
Brothers, listen, when we touch down, we got to make noise. If you ain't making noise, something ain't right.
There you go.
You know?
And get that scripture in Acts 17 about they turned the
Yes,
world.
sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all know that scripture.
Yes, sir. The book of Acts, chapter 17 and verse 6. And when they found them not, they drew Jason and certain brethren unto the rulers of the city, crying, these that have turned the world upside down are come hither also.
That's right. So, I'm in the studio. I was in the studio. You was with me in the studio. We're doing a radio show. And the radio show's coming to a close, and the host says, hey, can I take some pictures with y'all? So we said, oh, no problem. Officer Jared Ham says, Bishop, we got to go. So I'm not thinking nothing. I'm like, oh, hold on. We're going to take some pictures. Bishop, we got to go. Now. So I'm like, what the hell's wrong? I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this? Bishop, we got to go. So I'm like, the hell? So I'm like, all right, we go outside. Captain Arell, who's it? Captain Arell and Meta. Let's go. We gotta go, Bishop. We gotta go. They pushed me into the van. They said there's an APB out for your arrest. Then you ought to be arrested on sight. That's when the ladies showed our pictures and said they're looking for these four. So they didn't know where we was. So when we roll, I'm telling you, when we roll, we roll. You ain't gonna know where we at, where we going.
That's right.
All praises to the Lord.
What you mean by that? Regular eyes cannot see us when we walk.
There you go. Give me the next news article that came up. So remember, these are all in a Papiamento. Okay, so this was a newspaper. Give me the. And Deacon Abiel was the one that started that APB thing. He called Captain Mattathias and Arell and got them all wired up like that. Shout out to you, Deacon Abiel, for causing that. We going through the streets like a TV, like a movie. So this is one of the articles. I can't read it. Y'all can see Big Red right there and Little Samson next to him. He said, why you always call me Little Samson? Oh, you're Little Samson. Give me the next one. So they was taking pictures. Hey, I forgot this part. I forgot when we were in... I believe y'all. Who was with me? Raise your hand. Who was out there with us? Only two brothers? Daggone, only three. All right. There was a crackhead woman in Panama. We landed in Panama. There was a crackhead there. So brothers, we didn't pay no mind. But the same woman was in Curacao. And we was like, wait a minute. So the brothers took a picture of it. I ain't got the pictures. I wish I had it. They said, this is the same woman. You know what I'm talking about?
They said when the cops came, as soon as the cops came, she slapped fives with the cops and walked off.
What team was that?
That was, I think, Team 5.
We had Team 5.
Or right. Team 2.
Right. That's what happened. That is what happened. Yeah. So give me the translation. Yeah, read that of the newspaper that we just looked at.
Willemstad, a striking appearance in Curacao yesterday. Members of the religious group Israel United in Christ held a march on the island. This group, recognizable by their lilac shirts and black pants, handed out pamphlets and attracted attention.
Purple! Go ahead.
That's right.
What the hell is this? Lilac. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Handed out pamphlets and attracted attention in the city center and other parts of the island. IUIC, an organization founded in 2003 in New York, believes they are the descendants of the biblical Israelites.
That's right.
The members.
That's right.
The members who are part of a broader movement known as the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Oh, God, there they go.
Focus on spreading their beliefs and cultural identity. This group, considered controversial by some, has followers and members both nationally and internationally. The march in Curacao, which followed a similar action in Aruba, was peaceful.
See that? They was mad at that. It was peaceful because the ADL, SPLC, they put lies out saying, oh, they're a violent extremist group. No, we're peaceful. And if you just leave us alone, we'll prove to you we're peaceful. Go ahead.
The police and the Curacao Volunteer Corps, VKC, were present to ensure that everything went smoothly. There have been no reports of disturbances. The police emphasize that freedom of expression and manifestation is respected in Curacao, but that a permit is required. IUIC has no political associations.
That's right.
And focuses its teaching and activities on world events and how they relate to biblical prophecies. The organization does not celebrate holidays with pagan origins.
That's right.
But adheres to the holy days as described in the Bible.
That's right.
This IUIC visit to the Caribbean islands demonstrates their growing influence and the expansion of their activities beyond the United States.
Exactly. There you go. Get a Lord a hand for that thing. Hey, give me the photo of the black woman next to the agent. I just sent it. Thank you. Shout out to Captain Mattathias for sending it to me. It's at the bottom. It's at the very bottom. Okay. This agent played as a homeless woman. She was sitting next to an undercover cop. And we knew he was an undercover cop because when brothers, not me, I wasn't there. When they went back, that's them right there. When they went back to the boat, the white guy there was coming off the boat, okay? And he wasn't dressed like that. He had a whole different outfit on, okay? And I think one of the brothers said to him, hey, you was just at our camp talking with us, and he ran off, okay? But that woman right there played the homeless woman. She was in different islands, right? The black, brothers, watch them. Watch them. Hey, some of y'all sitting up in here. Might be one of these people. But guess what? We ain't doing no crime, so we ain't stunting none of y'all. The hell is this? We ain't committing no crimes. No crimes at all. I'm sorry. Where we at? Okay. Yes, give me this one. Dang, my head is big. I got a big head. So this is another article with a video. I can't read the language. Okay, but go ahead. Give me the next one. Now, go to the next one, too. So in this, this was a newspaper as well as a TV. They only gave us 3 minutes. They said we giving y'all only 3 minutes to explain what y'all about, which I found was unfair. But I went in the spirit. I said, how can I punch him in the spirit in 3 minutes? All you got is 3 minutes. So give me the translation.
Yeah, but you did pull it off, Bishop. You did.
We had to, bro. So this was the article they wrote in the 3 minutes.
Israel united in Christ, bringing the message of Christ to Aruba. Wednesday morning, a great delegation of Israel united in Christ arrived at Aruba on a ship that they can bring the message of Christ to our island. They went to different media, for instance, also to 24order.com.
That's where I went. Go ahead.
So to bring out their concept, we noticed that at San Nicolas, they marched in a very large group, and they marched with order to make everyone that they met aware about the message of God. Established in 2003, based in New York, Bishop Nathaniel and Deacon Labaka, they told us that they are a religious group that constructs and recontribute our nation. With our nation, they refer to the 12 tribes of Israel. During our conversation with Bishop Nathaniel, he told us that you can hear about and how they broke the laws of God to afterwards go into slavery. Christ comes from the tribe of Judah.
This gospel was never taught. Probably never taught. What we could learn from is of injustice and miscarriage of perversion of the Bible. The Roman Catholics forced Christianity on our people, that indoctrinated our people in lies. We are here to break all lies that destroys our people, he was telling. For more details, read.
Early. That was it. All praise to the Most High. Let's get a Lord a hand for that.
That's right.
So now I want the video about Germany. I want the news break. It might be an article or video. I'm not sure. Article about Germany. Yeah, put that on the screen. I'm showing y'all what time we're living in because some of us are asleep. Yes. Yeah. Hold that.
Post a picture of the woman that I just sent you.
Yes, and he asked if they told us not to teach. When we had that meeting, they told us they used the march and said don't march in Curacao. So we didn't do a march in Curacao, but they had police following each team we set up and made them stop teaching. So that's the ultimate thing they wanted to stop. It was the teach. It had nothing to do with the march at all. Because the chief of police said, "Oh, we believe in freedom of speech." Lie. Okay, go ahead, Cap.
So that's the woman, that was the agent that was following us from Panama to Curacao. That's her right there in Panama. Yep.
Damn. So now give me the thing in Germany. The article, read that.
German police raid homes of 17 people accused of posting anti-Semitic hate speech on social media.
Lift it up.
Berlin. German authorities on Tuesday raided the homes of 17 people in the state of Bavaria accused of spreading anti-Semitic hate speech and threats targeting Jews online. According to the Bavarian criminal police, the suspects were 15 men and 2 women, aged between 18 and 62. German news agency DPA reported police questioned the suspects and confiscated evidence from their homes, including cell phones and laptops, the agency said. The suspects were said to have celebrated the attacks by Palestinian militant group Hamas on Israel on October 7th and were accused of spreading hate speech against Jewish people on social media using symbols of banned terrorist organizations, DPA reported.
Now you might ask, what does this got to do with us? Well, we have a school in Germany. So what happened was an Arab attacked the camp that was out there. So what happened was the police came and arrested the Arab guy. Can you put up the court summons? Put up the court summons. Yeah, that's it. I redacted the name of the brother who got served the court summons to appear in court and the phone numbers, because I know our enemies online, they would love phone numbers and names. I'm not making nothing easy for you. So the brother had to go to court to testify against the Arab guy that had attacked the camp. But when they told me what was going on, I said, hey, this might be a ruse to attack IUIC. Sure enough, when he gets in there into the court, they ask him, they have the flyers of IUIC on the monitors. What about this, these flyers that you guys hand out that you're the biblical Jews? What about that? He said, oh, no, it's in the Bible. We just teach them. So the brother kept real short answers to the point, but I said they're keeping us on their radar. They're keeping us on their radar. So that's the court summons he had to go regarding the Arab guy. Everybody understand what's going on? Okay. So we are entering into perilous times, brothers and sisters. The more our numbers grow, the higher our teaching gets, the more support we get. Time is short. Time is running out. Give me 2 Peter 3:9. So when I said about you brothers study, get yourselves ready because we want to hit these different places, I wasn't BSing. The brothers that came, I'd say 9 out of 10 of them was good. Most of them was good. Most of the brothers that came were excellent. Northern Kingdom was on point. No qualms with Northern Kingdom. Shout out to Northern Kingdom. Give Northern Kingdom a hand.
That's right.
I was nervous with Northern Kingdom. Oh, God.
Jesucristo negro.
Hey, Bishop.
But it came with power. I said, oh, that's what I'm talking about right there.
All praises to the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Southern Kingdom for holding us down
That's
as
right.
well. A lot of Southern Kingdom brothers was reading in Spanish. All praises, all praises.
That's right. All praises. We had a great time. Great time. 2 Peter 3 and 9, please.
The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 9. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness.
Because the Lord ain't coming back, so that means he's slack concerning his promise of his return. Go ahead.
But is long-suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish.
So the reason he's holding his return back is that he's what?
Not willing that any should perish.
Go ahead.
But that all should come to repentance.
He wants us, a certain remnant, to come to repentance. That's the holdup. Everybody see that right there? Was that verse 10?
Verse 9.
Go ahead.
But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up.
There's going to be a great destruction that's coming, brothers, sisters. Prepare yourselves. 2 Ezra 13:22. 2 Ezra 13, verse 22.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 13, verse 22. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind.
So them that are left behind are those brothers and sisters during the tribulation. Go ahead.
This is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward the Almighty.
Read that verse again.
He that shall endure the peril in that time.
Remember Christ said, he that endures to the end shall what? Be saved. Go ahead.
Hath kept himself. They that be fallen into danger.
So there will be danger. Go ahead.
Are such as have works.
You have works.
And faith.
And faith.
Toward the Almighty.
Toward the Almighty. Go ahead.
Know this therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead.
Are more blessed than they that are spiritually dead. That's what it's talking. Everybody with me on that one? So the same perils that the apostle went through, we going through. Let me show you 2 Corinthians 11:26. 2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 26.
2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 26.
This was Paul speaking.
And journeyings often.
So brothers, this is why I say, y'all, let's get ready. We want to go in journeyings often, okay? Y'all understand what I'm saying? This ain't no Sunday school, no little church group. This is about true revolution, okay? Waking up the 12 tribes of Israel. I need every man, every woman to understand it. And sisters, when your man go out, don't call him out of town giving him a hard time.
That's
Why you?
right.
He got to be focused on the work. And if somebody's coming after, here she come. Why? When you coming back? What, the bill got to be paid over here, and the baby need diapers. Babe, people are shooting at me. What the is wrong with you? Ain't nobody got time for that. Sisters, if y'all don't understand revolution, don't ever get married. Stay single,
right.
stay to yourselves. Read it again.
And journeyings often, and perils of waters, and perils of robbers, and perils by my own countrymen, and perils by the heathen, and perils in the city.
So y'all see that part right there? Where it says, in perils by mine own countrymen, in perils by the heathen. It's not just the white man. It's our own people who have joined with the white man. Some of y'all sitting in here. Y'all got that mentality. You're agents. It's all right. You can sit here. Y'all learn. Hopefully you repent. But we understand what's going to happen. Read that again.
And journeyings often, and perils of waters, and perils of robbers, and perils by my own countrymen, and perils by the heathen, and perils in the city, and perils in the wilderness, and perils in the sea, and perils among false brethren.
I see that Paul went through everything Paul went through, we have to go through. We're going to go through it. Everybody understand that? I pray y'all do. I really do. Give me a second.
No, hold on, Bishop. Read start at 26 one more time.
Verse 26. And journeyings often.
Stop. Read that part again.
and journeyings often.
You remember, Bishop, we was talking about leave one boat and jump to another boat.
And that requires support from the brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You men and women online, support this truth. We can't do it without you. You think we can get on the boat based on Laba's good looks? The hell's wrong with you? We need help. We need financial help to do this work. 2 Timothy 3:1. 2 Timothy 3:1.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 1. This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come.
What kind of?
Perilous times shall come.
Go ahead.
For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
That's that narcissistic me, brother. Go ahead.
Covetous.
Covetous. Give me this, give me that. Go ahead.
Boasters.
Boasters. Go ahead. Vainglory.
Proud. Blasphemers.
Blasphemers against the truth.
Disobedient to parents.
Yes, we're seeing this when you look in the rap world. When you look in the world in general, you see it. Okay? What's that? World Star. You see it on World Star. You see it on these various, and on TikTok. This is what you see. Go ahead.
Unthankful.
Unthankful brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
Unholy.
Unholy brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
Without natural affection.
That's why you get married today, divorced tomorrow. Oh, speaking of which, she just came into my mind. The Afro Samurai returned. You can't make this stuff up. So the brother with Afro, I tell you, brothers, that I wasn't going to talk about this, but that just sparked the memory. The brother, remember I told y'all he married a sister who has a 13-year-old son, and they got in an argument, and the son pulled out a samurai sword and shot the brother. So it was a dull sword. It was a dull sword. Anyway, they went through the house. He had a sword. The son had a sword. Imagine doing a meme on that. Just fight. You can't make this stuff up. Anyway, I said to the brother, so what you going to do? He said, I'm going to try and make it work. I said, all right, you going to try and make it work? Power to you. Now, I said that because this was a backdoor marriage. I'll be warning y'all, when these sisters get y'all alone and try and let me be nice, entice you brothers, because they know you got a little money, a little something, you got a little house and all that. She can entice you, and you get with her, okay, you get fooled. Now, so anyway. So now he tried to make it work. So they back in the house, lovey. They decided they get in an argument again. Afro Samurai put him back on the screen. He comes back to the brother. What you say to my mama? Don't you talk to my mama like that. You can't make this stuff up. I can't live like that. And the brother, I said, you too old to be going through that. Then you got another brother. The brother, how old is brother? Late 40s, Lapa, he's late 40s. He want to marry how old is sister? She in her 30s. Was a 20-year difference, 15? Yeah, put it on the screen real quick. This is dumb. This is dumb. You can't make this stuff up. I tell you, people are crazy. Some of y'all are crazy. Y'all, I can't live like this, and you're too old for that. Oh, boy. Where we at?
We in verse 3, Bishop.
Oh, in 2 Timothy. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Despisers of those that are good. Go ahead.
Traitors.
Oh, let's read that again.
Traitors.
One more again.
Traitors.
Now, go ahead.
Traitors. Heady. High-minded.
Know everything. Go ahead.
Lovers of pleasures.
Lovers of pleasures, like for the love of money, love of sex, whatever it is. Go ahead.
More than lovers of God.
Right. You put P over God. Y'all know the word P, right? Punani over God. Punani over God. Go ahead.
Having a form of godliness.
Because some of you might wear fringes. You got the Bible. You could quote. You could find scriptures. That's what it means, having a form of godliness. Go ahead.
But denying the power thereof.
You won't do what this Bible says at the end of the day. Go ahead.
From such turn away.
From such turn away. So, from there, I want to go to Psalms chapter 2. Put it on the screen. You can put my man on the screen. Y'all know my man right here. Post up and never leave. You sisters, you meet brothers like that without natural affection. He don't love you.
Just don't never leave.
Right. He want to beat the doonies out of you and stay in your house, in your crib, in your apartment. But he don't really love you. Y'all meet brothers like that all the time. Psalms chapter 2.
The book of Psalms chapter 2 verse 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder.
Bands. Give me bands, precept.
Yes,
Zechariah 11:14. Bands. Precept for bands. What does it mean? And there's one in Genesis, I just can't remember it, where Jacob split Rachel and Leah into 2 bands.
Yes, sir.
But read that. Read this one, since this one I got. Go ahead.
Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 14. Then I cut asunder mine other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel.
That's bands. Going back.
Psalm chapter 2 and verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Cords. Give me Psalms 118:27. Cords.
The book of Psalms chapter 118 verse 27. God is the Lord, which have showed us light. Bind the sacrifice with cords.
Bind the sacrifice with cords. So cords goes into rope. What binds the 12 tribes together, brothers? God's laws. His laws. That's what the cords is talking about. Okay? Give me Acts 4:18.
The book of Acts chapter 4 verse 18. And they called them and commanded them.
I'm going to Acts 4 because it breaks down Psalms 2. Go ahead.
And they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach in the name of Jesus.
So what happened with the apostles, it has started to happen with us now, where they're commanding us not to teach in the name of Christ. Yahushua, you feel better? Same thing. So they're commanding us not to teach in that name. They'll use other things. They'll say, oh, we don't want you to march. Okay, we won't march. We'll just go out and teach. Is that okay? Yeah, that's okay. Then we go out there and teach. Y'all got to shut that down. Okay, we'll just give out flyers. Y'all got to shut that down. That's what's going on. So we're living this now. Read it again.
Verse 18. And they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach in the name of Jesus. But Peter and John answered and said unto them, whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than unto God, judge ye.
So you got to get that in your mind. That's the same thing said in Acts 5. It's better to obey God rather than men. It's the same thing. We're not listening to man, brothers. We're on a mission from God. Go ahead.
For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard.
That's right. Come on.
So when they had further threatened them.
What they do?
Threatened them.
They threatened us with prison incarceration. Go ahead.
They let them go, finding nothing how they might punish them.
Right.
Because of the people. For all men glorify God for that which was done. For the man was above 40 years old.
See, I want y'all to see this. You see that bottom part? It says, because of the people. For all men glorified God for that which was done. The man was healed. The people loved the disciples. Or at least a large remnant of the people. When we're out there teaching, we're to gain the love of the people. And this is what groups like the ADL and the SPLC want to prevent. But it's up to you, men. When you're on the street, don't be out there as the local asshole. Excuse my language. You want to be out there as an ambassador of Christ to win those spirits over. Even if they raising and cursing and screaming at you. There's a way you can diffuse all that, okay? And stay in the spirit. Because you never know. Later on, they'll come back and say, you know what? I remember, who was with me in Trinidad when them people was cursing us out? You was with me. Remember that? And then at the end, they apologized and said, we don't know what came over us. That's what happens a lot of times, okay? That demon will jump off them. Read on.
For the man was above 40.
No, I'm not saying stand there and get punched in the face. Because remember, Lava, the brother, simple brother from Canada, said that are we supposed to let men rape their wife and daughters? Well, everybody in the boat was like, what the hell wrong with you? Ain't nobody say nothing stupid like that. So I got to speak plain, because some of y'all minds, I don't know what's wrong with some of y'all. Perverted Christian minds. Come on.
For the man was above 40 years old on whom this miracle of healing was showed. And being let go, they went to their own company and reported all that the chief priests and elders had said unto them. And when they had heard that, they lifted up their voice to God with one accord and said, Lord, thou art God, which has made heaven and earth and the sea and all that in them is, who by the mouth of thy servant David has said, why did the heathen rage?
So he's breaking it down. Why did the heathen rage? Come on.
And the people imagine vain things. The kings of the earth stood up, and the rulers were gathered together against the Lord and against his Christ. For of a truth, against thy holy child Jesus.
Now he's going to break it down.
Whom thou hast anointed, both Herod and Pontius Pilate.
That's Esau.
With the Gentiles.
That's our people and the nations, the heathen.
And the people of Israel.
That's those that know the scriptures of Israel. Go ahead.
Were gathered together.
They all gathered together. The wicked all gathered together. Go ahead.
For to do whatsoever thy hand and thy counsel determined before to be done.
Now verse 28 is what I want you to look at. Read 28 again.
For to do whatsoever thy hand and thy counsel determined before to be done.
So what is the counsel of God, brothers? What is the counsel? Nobody, do y'all have classes with them? Yes. Do y'all have classes with them? Yes, sir. I guess you got to word it better. For what? For to do whatsoever thy hand and thy counsel. What is God's counsel? Nobody has a clue what God's counsel is. The Ephraim. You Ephraim? Yes, sir. Yes.
Brother Kemuel.
Shalom.
Shalom. The counsel is the Bible.
That's right. See how simple it was? The counsel is the Bible. It wasn't maybe they thought it was a trick question. Y'all can get a brother hand because y'all thought it was a trick question or parable. It's not. Read it again, Cap.
Yes, sir. Verse
28.
Verse 28. For to do whatsoever thy hand and thy counsel determined before to be done.
They knew the only thing that could happen to them is what the Bible prophesied. Remember what we read. I know y'all forgot already. In Revelation 6, what did it say would happen to the servants of God? The brethren and fellow servants would happen? They would be killed. That's what it says. So we know in time that's going to happen.
That's right.
Read on.
And now, Lord, behold their threatenings.
Behold their what?
Their threatenings.
That always precedes the death. The threats come. We're going to imprison you. We're going to throw you in jail. We're going to take away your housing. We're going to take your job. You're going to lose your job. These are ways to get you not to teach the Bible. These are ways to get you to lose your salvation. Everybody understand that? These are satanic tactics. Read it again.
And now, Lord, behold their threatenings, and grant unto thy servants that with all boldness.
With all what?
With all boldness.
Brothers, we got to teach with all boldness. Go ahead.
They may speak thy word.
That's what we got to say to the Lord. Allow us to preach and teach with all boldness. Okay?
That's right.
What verse was that?
That was verse 20.
Go back to Psalms 2. Go back to Psalms 2.
Hey, Bishop,
Yes,
that's
sir.
so heavy because the threatening and all of that is to put the spirit of fear on us. Right. That's why they threaten and they want to threaten to put us in prison and so forth. It's to put fear on us. So that's why we got to pray and ask God for boldness to overcome that fear and teach his word with boldness and bravery. Okay?
Exactly. Back to Psalms 2. Back to Psalms 2.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
So let us break their tribes and let's cast away the Bible from them. Oh, can I have one of those, please, I say? I want one of those. Oh, that's mine? Hand me that. My voice is going. Where we at? I'm sorry.
Verse 4, Bishop.
Go ahead.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
So God's laughing. Why? Because God knows something we don't know. Brothers, the righteous never die. The righteous never die. You understand that? Do you believe that? The righteous never dies. We are immortal. Okay?
Right.
We just scared because of this flesh we in. Oh, my flesh hurts. So what? I remember I saw a video the other day where a guy was crying. I can't even tell. I got to find the video. But anyway, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Put those on the screen. Hey, go back to Deacon Joshua. Go back. Look at he look all tall in the picture. He all tall. Look at that.
That's right.
shout out to the class captain, Shem, that's Gideon. Wait, who's that one? Oh, that's Captain Enoch. That's missing a Passover every year? Oh, dang. Wait. Someone. Oh, that's wait. Who's this one? Nahum. All right, Nahum. That's Shemaiah. Hosea with his hair. He looked normal there. That's Captain Sariah. Wait, who that one? Oh, that's Severus. He lost weight. Look, wait, go back. He all in shape. Oh, Suki, y'all.
That's right.
Houston, Arama. Yadon, Captain Yadon. Oh, that's Kemuel. Hey, Kemuel, I told you to get me some things for the IUIC. I didn't get it yet, brother. You better get it to me. Captain Gedaliah. Wait, who? Oh, that's Dakar, Captain Dakar. Oh, Abiel, whoa, his stomach is flat. Look at that brother right there.
That's right.
Hey, hey, that's shout out to Haile Selassie. No, what's his name? Amaziah. I guess Captain Amaziah. Oh, Captain Zeph, look at you. I hear that, Zeph.
That's right.
Oh, praises. Oh, that's Yawanathan right there. Oh, that's Zakai, Captain Zakai. Yadin. Oh, Little Jan. Oh, look at Little Jan. Oh, wow.
That's right.
Oh, there's Captain Yadiah right there. Oh, praises. Wait, who's this one? Oh, that's Palu.
That's Arie, man.
Oh, that's
Arie.
Arie?
Like Palu. That's Arie. That's Palu. Oh, damn.
Oh, that's Palu. Wait a minute, go back to Palu. He ain't got no waves in his head.
He looked like Jake.
Palu got big
He
waves,
looked like
old
Jake
waves
there.
in his head.
He looked like Jake there, though.
Oh, snap. You said Palu don't look like Jake? That's Tazawan. Oh, look at OC. He ain't laughing in the picture, so I ain't recognize him. The hell is this?
Oh,
that's Matthew, Captain Matthew.
Oh, that's
Who's that?
Emmanuel. Yeah, from Houston. No, from Dallas.
Oh, from Dallas, Lemuel. Oh, look at Captain Mattathias.
Yes, that's the man right there.
Shout out to Captain Mattathias.
Yes.
Who's that one?
That's
Who's that?
From Cali.
Who?
That's okay.
We don't know. Give me the next one. Oh, look at Captain Joel. Hey, your hair, bro. You got hair in the pictures.
You got hair.
Oh, praises. That's some powerful stuff right there. That's right. Joel from Ohio.
Yeah.
That's Azariah from OKC. Oh, look at little man, Captain Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Ben Zion. Look at his eyes. That's Ben Zion. That's Barnabas. No, that's Palu.
That's Palu.
That's Palu right there.
This guy was off, man.
I don't know.
That was Arie, Captain Arie.
That one's Palu.
Guy.
All praise to the Lord.
All praise to the Lord.
Oh, that's Josiah on the right. Oh, that's Bishop Yosop right there. Go, young. That's Bishop Kenai right there. Yeah, that's Bishop Kenai.
That's Bishop.
Oh, who that? Emmy?
That's Bishop.
Oh, y'all got it going on. Oh, suck it there. Y'all all right?
That's Malachi.
Malachi, that's your Malachi, right? Oh, man. All right, hey. All right. Y'all good? Y'all taking me off the point. That was good. Where we at, Cap?
Psalms 2.
All right, we back at Psalms 2. Y'all got me all excited now. Psalms 2. And what verse? Read 3 again.
Yes, sir. Verse 3. Let us break their bands asunder.
Break their tribes asunder.
And cast away their cords from us.
And cast away their laws, their teachings from us.
He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh.
The Most High is going to laugh. Go ahead.
The Lord shall have them in derision.
The Lord said, I'm going to have them in derision. Go ahead.
Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
That's hurricanes, storms, death, annihilation, nuclear fire. That's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion.
So he's saying, regardless of all that they do to the servants of God, Christ is still the king. That's what he's saying. Go ahead.
I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Hey, that's the same thing. Watch this, watch this. Hold on. Give me Romans 8:17. Wait, read verse 9. Read verse 9.
Verse 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
I hope y'all see that verse 8 and 9 goes with verse 7. Read verse 7 again.
Verse 7. I would check. Verse 7. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee.
Who's verse 7 talking about, brothers? Christ. Verse 8.
Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Who's the thee, brothers? Huh? It seemed like I hear confusion. Oh, God, Lord, have mercy. Y'all, hey, y'all got to have better basic classes with them. The milk. Okay, read verse 8 again. Remember, verse 7 is who, brothers? Okay, verse 8.
Verse 8. Ask of me.
So now the Father's saying, ask of me. Go ahead.
And I shall give thee.
The thee is Christ.
The heathen for thine inheritance.
Go ahead.
And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
This is what the Father's saying to Christ. Right? That's why verse 6 says, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. That's the Father setting Christ up as king. Do y'all see that? Okay, so verse 7, I will declare the decree. The Lord has said unto me, okay, the me is Christ. Thou art my son. That's Christ. This day have I begotten thee. For God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. Y'all with me so far? Yes, sir. Verse 8, ask of me. The me is the Father. And I, the Father, shall give thee, Christ, the heathen, the other nations, for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy Christ's possession. Verse 9.
Verse 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
So now he's saying all this to Christ. The Father's saying all this to Christ. Where do we come in? Romans 8:17.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 17.
Are we going too fast? Okay, Romans 8:17.
Verse 17. And if children, then heirs.
And if we are the children of God, then we are heirs. Go ahead.
Heirs of God.
Heirs of God.
And joint heirs with Christ.
Joint heirs with who?
With Christ.
Joint heirs with who?
With Christ.
Everything the Father gave Christ, we're joint. To be a joint heir means we get what Christ gets. Do y'all understand that?
That's right.
Revelation 2 now.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 25. Mm-hmm. But that which ye have already, hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
This is the same thing the Father said to Christ. Now Christ is saying it to us. Why? Because we are joint heirs. Go ahead.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
We're going to break the nations. Go ahead.
Even as I received of my Father.
You see that part right there? Even as I received of my Father, referring back to Psalms chapter 2. Y'all understand that? I hope y'all do. Go back to Psalms 2 now.
The book of Psalms, chapter 2, and verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel.
Watch this.
Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
Why does he say kings? Give me that in Revelation 1:6. Be wise, therefore, ye kings.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 6. And I've made us kings and priests unto God.
He's made us kings and priests. So the kings he's talking to in Psalms 2 and 10 is Israel. Go back to verse 10 again. Psalms 2 and 10.
Verse 10. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
Judges of the earth. Give me 1 Corinthians 6 and 2.
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
That's some heavy stuff right there. We're going to judge the world. Go back. Was that the whole verse?
No, sir.
read the whole verse. What you put a long pause for? Is that a dramatic pause?
Yes, sir.
The hell is this?
1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 2. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
So that's why, brothers, and this is a good scripture to bring out on the street. Paul is telling us that we are able and allowed to judge small matters. That's matters in the congregation. We can judge small matters, okay? People in the church, you can't judge. Only God can judge me. That's not true. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 8.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3 and verse 8. They shall judge the nations.
You see that? Read it again.
They shall judge the nations.
Was that the whole verse?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
And have dominion over the people. And their Lord shall reign forever.
And Christ shall reign forever. Damn. Hey, that's a fire picture right there. Oh, man, y'all getting me going again. Cut that. Take that thing off. Look at that thing right there. That bad to the bone. Okay, I'll take that off. Y'all putting spirits on me. So we going to judge the nations. You heard that, Malachi? You heard that?
Yeah, Bishop.
You heard that?
Yeah, Bishop. In that picture, you got your beard back.
Oh, I got my beard back. Yeah,
was
my
nice.
beard's taking a long time to grow.
That's
May Lord have mercy. All right, where we at? Let's go back.
Psalms 2.
Psalms 2 and what verse?
Verse 10. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth.
So he's talking to the Israelites. Go ahead.
Serve the Lord with fear.
The beginning of wisdom, brothers and sisters, is fear. You got to have fear in you. That first, yes, it's respect and honor to the Most High, but it's also literal fear. That if I break his laws, he will kill me. You got to know that. Go ahead.
And rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry.
Now, when it says kiss the Son, people get stupid. Give me Exodus 20 and 6 to explain. We're going to explain kiss the Son for a moment. Exodus 20 and 6.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 6. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
So he's going to show mercy. That's that kiss the Son, okay? Unto thousands of them that love him and keep the commandments. Give me John 14, 15.
The book of John, chapter 14, verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
That's an example of kiss the Son. Jump down to verse 21 to 24.
Verse 21. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father. And I will love him and will manifest myself to him.
Was that it?
No. Verse 22. Judas saith unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that thou wilt manifest thyself unto us and not unto the world? Jesus answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which
you messed up reading up. Read that again.
Verse 24. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings.
He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings. That includes your mothers and your fathers. Some of y'all listening right now, you don't keep the sayings of Christ. You don't keep nothing this Bible says. You don't love the Lord. You will not kiss the Son. Read again.
He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings. And the word which ye hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me.
So Christ said, my word is not my own. It's the Father that sent me. Proverbs 8:36. Watch this. Here's another good scripture for the street.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 36. But he that sinneth against me.
He that sinneth against me.
Wrongeth his own soul.
You, brothers, sisters, y'all wrong your own souls. Good?
All they that hate me.
All they that hate Christ.
Love death.
Love what?
Love death.
You love death. You love death. You doing a tango with death. Okay?
That's right.
Going back to Psalms 2, that last verse again.
Yes, sir. Psalms 2 and verse 12. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way. When his wrath is kindled but a little, blessed are all they that put their trust in him.
So now, as we know, today we're in the midst of the Feast of Dedication. And all that we've gone over thus far is attributed to what the dedication of the altar happened. What happened back then is happening now, and it's going to lead up to what's going on today. So I just want to backtrack. Give me John 10:22.
The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22.
Because many times we think that the Old Testament writings have no relevance for us today. You're wrong if you think that. They're very relevant because, remember, he said his judgments are like a what, brothers? Like a ring. What happened back then is going to happen now. So now we're going to start with John 10, verse 22.
John 10:22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of the dedication, and it was winter.
What was the season? It was winter. So Christians will read that, be confused and confounded, and lie when they read that verse because they can't explain it. Christ celebrated the feast of dedication. Go ahead.
And Jesus walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
So he observed it. He had a holy convocation. That means gathering. That's why he went into the temple. Was that it?
Yes, sir.
From there, give me Daniel 11:30. Deacon Malachi went over it yesterday, but I just want to touch on it again. One more again.
The book of Daniel, chapter 11 and verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
For the ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore,
so, write this down. Write this down. Chittim is Rome, Italy. Rome, Italy. Read it again.
For the ships of Chittim shall come against him.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant.
Mm-hmm.
So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant.
So the he that is talking about it is Antiochus Epiphanes. Sometimes we say Antiochus. Some Esau says it's Antiochus. You know, we're black, so we say Antiochus, but it's Antiochus. When it says he shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant, give me 1 Maccabees 1:11. Make sure you write these precepts down.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So they made an agreement. They made a covenant with death and hell. Let's go back. That right there is a whole lesson right there to go into, because that ties with Isaiah 28. They made a covenant with death and hell. Okay, go back to Daniel 11. What verse you at?
Verse 31 now.
Go ahead.
Verse 31. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice.
So that's what the Greeks did unto Antiochus. Go ahead.
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
So they put idols in the temple, and they sacrificed swine's flesh on the altar. Go ahead.
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
He shall corrupt them by flatteries. The flatteries, he offered wealth. He offered high positions, okay, in society. That's why these actors, these entertainers, none of them speak up for our people. Why? Because they made a covenant with the heathen, okay? They have contracts where they are forbidden. They'll take a knee, but that's not really doing much for our people. Read it again.
And such as do wickedly.
Bishop, even though our people in Congress, they do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
He corrupt by flatteries, okay? Like with Jonathan. Who else was the other one that corrupt by flatteries? Oh, the woman with Jason. They offered the woman with the 7 sons. They offered her boys wealth, fame, and fortune if they would eat the swine and bow to the idols. What happened then happened during the time of Rome, as we read earlier at the beginning of the lesson. It's going to happen again. Read on.
But the people that do know their God.
But listen good to this. But the people that do know their God. Wait a minute. Hold that. Give me 1 John 2. I believe it's 4.
Yes, sir. The book of 1 John, chapter 2 and verse 4. He that saith, I know him.
No, verse 3. I want 3.
Verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him, if we keep his commandments.
So we know God if we do what? keep his commandments. So when you hear Christians say they know God, they got a personal relationship with God, read verse 4.
He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
So what are they, brothers? A liar. That's your Christian friends, your mamas, your father. They're all a bunch of liars. Let's go on back now. Daniel 11. What verse we're at?
Verse 32.
But
the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
So now write this down. Mattathias. Mattathias. I'm gonna touch on that, what he did later on. Go ahead.
And they that understand among the people shall instruct many.
As it was then, so it is today. We understand among the people, and we are instructing many. Go ahead.
Yet they shall fall by the sword.
Y'all see that? Yet they shall fall by the sword. It happened then. It's going to happen again. Go ahead.
And by flame, by captivity,
prison. Go ahead.
And by spoil, many days.
Many days. Go ahead.
Now when they shall fall, they shall be hoping with a little help.
Write this down. The little help is Judah Maccabees. The little help is Judah Maccabees. Go ahead.
But many shall cleave to them with flatteries.
Right. For example, you had Nicanor who said he was friends with Judas. He told Judah, when you read, he said, get a wife. I believe it's 2nd Maccabees. He said, why don't you get a wife, have children, lay down, we're friends. All that was flatteries. Then when he got orders to kill Judas, he was straight on it. Okay. What verse was that?
Verse 34.
Go ahead.
And some of them of understanding shall fall.
Yes, this is what I want y'all to see. Read it again.
And some of them of understanding shall fall.
Why? Read.
To try them.
To test them. Try them means to test them. Read again.
And some of them of understanding shall fall. To try them and to purge. To make them white. Even to the time of the end. Because it is yet for a time appointed.
See that? So what happened back then is going to happen now. Some brothers and sisters of understanding shall fall. Why? To try us and to purge. Purge what? Some of y'all going to get afraid and you're going to leave and you're going to go right back to that white man and worship everything this white man sets up. Shame on you. Goodbye. But we already know. We read in the scriptures. It happened back then. It's going to happen again. So we just sit back and wait.
Bishop, maybe you said maybe.
Huh?
Maybe you just said maybe. Then.
No, I didn't say maybe. That's what's going to happen. Okay. Go ahead.
And the king shall do according to his will. And he shall exalt himself.
The white man, Antiochus, he exalted himself. That's what epiphanies means. God manifests on earth. Go ahead.
And magnify himself above every god.
The white man sets himself up above gods. Go ahead.
And shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods.
Against the Most High. Go ahead.
And shall prosper till the indignation.
Doesn't this white man prosper? With all the evil he's doing, just like Antiochus there, you can put it on the screen. That's Antiochus there on the screen. Just as he prospered, this white man today is prospering. It seems like there's no stop. His technology is growing, his economics, his commerce is growing. It's like, wow, this man's doing much evil, and he's not being stopped. Nope. Read verse 36, one more again.
Verse 36, and the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done.
Now I'm going to show y'all something. No, we just read verse 36. Now you might ask, why am I comparing Antiochus to the white man today? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, please. Watch what it says. Remember, we just read about Antiochus. It said, he shall exalt himself, magnify himself above every god. Watch this.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
When Paul wrote this, Antiochus has been long dead. When you read in many Christian commentaries, they get confused because they say it seems like it's jumping in time. Why? Because God's judgments are like a ring. These things keep happening. That's why this is a spiritual book. You ain't going to read this like a novel and understand it. You're not going to get understanding like that. Read it again.
Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Just as Antiochus did in the past, today's white man is doing the same thing. Sets himself up as God. Everybody see that? I hope y'all do. Now we got brothers, we got to take them through milk. I understand that, but that's what the morning and afternoon class is for. Is that right around? Yeah, we got a lot of classes. Take you through the milk because some of y'all be sitting there right now, I'm confused. Okay? From there, give me Daniel 8:21.
The book of Daniel, chapter 8 and verse 21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia.
The king of Grecia, go ahead.
And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Who's the first king of Grecia, brothers? Alexander the Great, the Greek. That's him right there, the Greek. Go ahead.
Now that being broken.
When it says now that being broken, meaning he was dying. He died of what? Syphilis. Go ahead.
Whereas 4 stood up for it. 4 kingdoms.
Wait. Read it right. You're reading, bro. Come on. Hey, if y'all got his 4 generals, put them on the screen. Read it again.
Verse 22. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it.
So the 4 is, that's in Spanish. Come on, y'all.
Yeah, thank you, IT.
Lord.
Do something for God's sake.
Come on, IT. We need y'all. We need y'all. I know I'll be yelling at y'all, but you're very important to this mission. Okay. So one of the generals is Ptolemy. Now, I know we often say Ptolemy, but it's not Ptolemy. The P is silent. It's Ptolemy or Ptolemy. It's like saying Psalms. Ha! I like the way that sounds. Deacon Ace will be saying it, Psalms. I love that. But one of the 4 is Ptolemy. He ruled over Egypt. You had Lysimachus, who ruled over Thrace in Asia Minor. Next general, you had Seleucus, who ruled over Syria. That's where Antiochus was a descendant of Seleucus. Then Cassander ruled over Macedonia. So let's go back again.
Yes, sir. Verse 22. Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power.
Not in his power, because Alexander united the kingdom of Esau. The 4 generals divided it. They had 4 split kingdoms. Put it back on the screen. Put it back on the screen. Under Alexander, it was all one. You had one, they were all united. But when his generals took over, they hated each other. They fought against each other. They were trying to overthrow each other. Let's read on.
And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
So now, when you see that a king of fierce countenance, it's talking about the king of Babylon. That's what it's really talking about these last days. Go ahead. As we read on, it's going to say, go ahead.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Because he got his power from who, brothers? Satan. Talking about his technology. Go ahead.
And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Did they not enslave us, brothers and sisters? Yes. Go ahead.
And through his policy also, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
His craft is his commerce, his technology. Go ahead.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
See, magnify himself in his heart, setting himself up as God. Go ahead.
And by peace shall destroy many.
That's how he destroys kingdoms and nations, by coming with peace. Watch this.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
That's Christ right there. The prince of princes is Christ. Go ahead.
But he shall be broken without hand.
Do y'all see that right there? He shall be broken without hand, meaning man ain't going to throw this man down. Okay? So that's how we know it jumps from Antiochus or Antiochus to these last days, right? Ciao. Give me 1 Maccabees 1. 1 Maccabees chapter 1. Because what we read earlier in John 10, Christians cannot explain why Christ celebrated the Feast of Dedication. You have some Israelites that say not to celebrate it because man ordained it. Well, the Son of God kept it. So who are you, Negro? If the Son of God, who created everything, created you, okay? kept it, then who the hell? We ought to obey God rather than man. First Maccabees 1:1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse 1. And it happened, after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
So Greece, the Greeks overthrew Persian Medes, right?
That he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
That's Alexander. When it says Alexander, son of Philip, that's Alexander the Greek, right?
And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
He slew all the kings of the earth, meaning the dark nations of the earth, right?
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him.
Nobody could rise up against Alexander the Greek. Put it on the screen. Come on, y'all. Y'all can put it on. We talking, just put it on the screen. Go ahead.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. Mm-hmm. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
Everybody paid him taxes. Go ahead.
And after these things, he fell sick.
He fell sick through syphilis. Go ahead. He had sex with every beast he could find. Go ahead.
And perceived that he should die.
He knew he was about to drop dead. Go ahead.
Wherefore, he called his servants, such as were honorable.
Can we put the 4 servants up on the screen? Now, he had more, but these were the main 4. Put up on the screen. Oh, God. Read it again.
Wherefore, he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them.
He parted his kingdom among Ptolemy got Egypt, Lysimachus got Thrace, Asia Minor, Seleucus got Syria, Cassander got Macedonia. That's a brief. There's more countries they had, but this is a brief as I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
And parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died. And his servants bare rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth.
So this is another reason this was taken out of the Bible. It says evils were multiplied in the earth. When the white man, evil was already in the earth, but it got more. When the white man came in power, it increased. Everybody understand that? So civilization did not start with the Greeks. This is why they had to remove this in the Protestant Bibles. Go ahead. This is why they had to remove the Bible from the school system. They said, take it out. Because as long as this stuff is in there, it's going to mess up our teachings. Go ahead.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
Stop. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes. Who did he come out from, brothers? Let me see. Who remembers? Go ahead, right there. Denim jacket.
Shalom, Most High Christ bless.
Shalom.
Seleucus.
Seleucus. Very good. Very good. Let's see if y'all paying attention. Verse 10 again.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome.
See, the reason they had hostages, who knows why nations had hostages? It's easy. It's not a trick question. Huh? I heard, stand up, somebody.
To negotiate?
To negotiate. You're warm. Something else. Let me hear this brother next to you.
Shalom, Bishop.
Shalom.
For like treaties to make sure you keep up your bargain?
Yes, that's the reason. If I got your son, chances are, would you make war against me? No, because I got your son. If you got my son, I'm not going to make war with you. I want my son to live. So, therefore, there must be some kind of bargaining or understanding between us.
Bishop, they show you that in the movie Dracula.
Yes.
When they took his son.
Exactly. When they took his son as hostage. That's what they did. So read verse 10 again.
Verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome.
So this Rome here was the Roman Republic. Write that down. Roman Republic. It was Japheth, the seed of Japheth. Go ahead.
And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
Come on.
In those days went out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
Right, they had a discus. This is when the Olympics started. This is where the Olympics started. Go ahead.
And made themselves uncircumcised.
Now, you know you can't make yourself physically uncircumcised. So when it says uncircumcised, it means in their heart, their mind. They gave up God's laws, uncircumcised here. Everybody understand that? Go ahead.
And forsook the holy covenant.
That's the proof right there. And forsook the holy covenant. That's what it means. Go ahead.
And joined themselves to the heathen and was sold to do mischief.
Come on.
Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms.
See that's what they were trying to rule other areas. Go ahead.
Wherefore he entered into Egypt with a great multitude, with chariots and elephants and horsemen and a great navy, and made war against Ptolemy, king of Egypt. But Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that Antiochus had smitten Egypt, he returned again in the 143rd year.
And this is why Esau today, they set up the EU, the European, what's that last word? Union. They want to make sure they don't war against each other. After World War II, they established that. However, there is a God, and God is stirring up trouble in the midst. Go ahead. That's right.
And went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar and the candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof.
Come on.
And the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold, and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken very proudly. Therefore there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were, so that the princes and elders mourned. The virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Confusion of face. Go ahead.
And after 2 years fully expired.
So they were covered with confusion because remember, we were the top nation. Now come the Greeks and they taking us down. Go ahead.
The king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah.
Tax collector, the IRS. Go ahead.
Who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude and spake peaceable words unto them.
Stop. Remember what we read in Daniel 8? And by peace shall what? Shall destroy many. Read this again.
And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit.
All was what?
Deceit.
All was what?
Deceit.
All the peace treaties they made with the tribe of Gad and Reuben. They got mad at the tribe of Reuben because Reuben did not follow the peace treaty. They said this is BS. So Reuben started to fight first. And good for them because they knew it was BS. They made over 300 peace treaties with Gad and broke every last one of them. Go ahead.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city.
See that?
And smote it very sore, and destroyed much people of Israel.
This is what the Greeks did. This is what the white man did. Come on.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive.
Prisoners of war, hostage. Go ahead.
And possessed the cattle. Then builded they the city of David with a great and strong wall, and with mighty towers, and made it a stronghold for them. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men, and fortified themselves therein. They stored it also with armor and victuals. And when they had gathered together the spoils of Jerusalem, they laid them up there, and so they became a sore snare. For it was a place to lie in wait against the sanctuary, and an evil adversary to Israel. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary, and defiled it, and so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them.
Hey, so you know what this also goes with? This is why President al-Assad of Syria said, them people in Israel today, they're not the Jews of antiquity. They're not these Jews that we're reading about. Because these Jews that we're reading about, it's us. Everybody understand that? That's right. Let's read on.
And so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them, whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers, and became strange to those that were born in her, and her own children left her. Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning, her Sabbaths into reproach, her honor into contempt. As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning.
Watch this.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Stop. Remember Antiochus. What's his surname? Epiphanes. What does Epiphanes mean? What does that precept with in the New Testament? 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4. Read verse 41 again. I'm going to see if y'all can connect the dots.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Doesn't this white man today say that democracy and Christianity is about making everybody one people? It's the same thing. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws.
And everyone should leave his law. Put it on the screen. Come on. So when you come from all these other countries, you got to leave your laws of your country and adapt the new laws in America. Everybody understand that? It's the same thing. Go ahead.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Watch this.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
So their religion is what we call politics today. It's one and the same. There's no difference between modern day Christianity and democracy. It's all about the unification of people, all coming together as one. Go ahead.
And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. Mm-hmm. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars in groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they shall also leave their children uncircumcised.
See that? And that they should leave also their children uncircumcised. Hey, find me the article, Google it and find, damn, what's the name of this article? Unlawful to circumcise. Circumcision is, what's the word they use? Barbaric. Find me that article, because they were trying to push that for a while. Just go to Google and see if you can find it. See what pops up. There's a campaign that tried to make circumcision unlawful. Of course, that was Esau. It's a news article. It's a news article. All right, let's read on.
Yes, sir. Verse 48, that they should also...
Wait, read 47 and put the picture on the screen. Oh, yeah, that's it right there.
Proposed circumcision.
So this is the aftermath. This is back in 2011. Go ahead.
Proposed circumcision ban struck from San Francisco ballot.
So it was on the ballot that they wanted to strike down circumcision. There was another one that says what it does, and they had people walking in the streets with blood and all of that. Okay. But what I'm showing you, these laws keep popping up every other year. They're trying to go back to what we're reading again. So take it off the screen, read verse 47 and put the picture on the screen again. The Greeks. Yes, read verse 47.
Verse 47. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
So as y'all see right there in the image right there, they had swine's flesh on the altar. I know right now there's an Israelite group saying images are evil. Shut the hell up out there. Just shut up. Nobody listening to y'all. So this is an image of what the Greeks did in the temple. They sacrificed swine's flesh on the altar. Let's read on.
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of...
Right. Is that it? Yeah, put it on the screen. This is what Esau was doing. Circumcision tortures boys. His body, his choice. This is what they were doing. They're trying to outlaw circumcision. The same thing the Greeks, what we're reading about here in the Bible. Okay, read on.
Verse 48, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
So there was death warrants put out for Israelites that did not obey the Greek king's laws. As it was then, it shall be in these last days. Let's read on.
In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom.
See, now what we're reading here is the same thing that the apostles went through. They started with the teaching. Stop teaching, stop teaching. Then it escalated into what we're reading here. Go ahead.
In the selfsame manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, city by city. Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, everyone that forsook the law.
That's where they went to, everyone that forsook the law. Go ahead.
And so they committed evils in the land.
Watch this.
And drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
So many of us ran and hid into the wilderness. Go ahead.
Now the 15th day of the month Caslu.
Caslu was the 11th month. Go ahead.
In the 145th year, they set up the abomination of desolation upon the altar.
They set up Greek gods in the temple. Go ahead.
And builded idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
Go ahead.
And burnt incense at the doors of their houses and in the streets. And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire.
The Bible was outlawed. The Bible was outlawed. Go ahead.
And whatsoever was found with any.
Read again.
And whatsoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
Y'all see that? So it was outlawed to read the scriptures. Remember what the scribe's job was. As a scribe, they took the records. They chronicled and wrote down what the prophets had already prophesied. So let's say you wanted a copy. You would pay me as a scribe to give you a copy of the book of, let's say, Isaiah or Malachi. So whatever the price is, I do it for you. Here's your copy. So now the Greeks come and they say, whoever got a copy of the writings of the prophet, kill them. Kill them. This is why during the Middle Ages also, remember what the Catholic Church did. They outlawed all copies of the Bible. You had to go to the Pope if you wanted to learn the scriptures, the Pope and the priests. And it was in Latin, okay? Then you got people like King James, for example, that said, no, everybody should be allowed to read the scriptures for themselves, to understand. The Catholic Church didn't like that, okay? So now we're going to see what happens in these last days regarding this. Read 57 again.
Verse 50, you want 56, Bishop?
Yes, go ahead.
And when they had rent in pieces the books of the law, which they found, they burnt them with fire. And whatsoever was found with any the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king's commandment was that they should put him to death.
So it wasn't just keeping the law, it was reading the law was outlawed too. Go ahead.
Thus did they by their authority unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the cities.
This is the same thing the apostles went through. Anybody that followed Christ, they said put him to death. Or it's the same thing. Go ahead.
Now the 25th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God.
So now the 25th day of the month. So it was the 11th month, the 25th day in the winter season. Go ahead. Come on.
At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised. And they hanged the infants about their necks and rifled their houses.
Meaning robbed their houses. Go ahead.
And slew them that had circumcised them.
Wow. Go ahead.
Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing. Wherefore, they chose rather to die, that they might not be defiled with meats, and that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died. And there was very great wrath upon Israel.
So we didn't want to eat any unclean foods or anything. Now, chapter 2 and 1.
Verse 1.
IT. Put pictures up. Let me see on the screen over here. Let me make sure I know. We're going to start off with Mattathias. Gray. Let me look, make sure I got the right thought. Yes, there's about 4. Okay, read verse 1.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias.
Mattathias. We're going to talk about the father now.
The son of John.
Read it again.
In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John.
Okay, now give me some. Right, these are just images of Mattathias. Okay, he was the first leader. Okay, stop. What's the next one? Put it on this screen over here. I want to see so y'all don't mess me up. Put it on this screen. Okay, that's Mattathias. Okay, read it again.
Verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joarib, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
Now we want to show his father. His father, it says Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joarib. Yep, put it up. His father was a priest. It should be like 3 images that we got, 3 or 4. He was a priest, a famous priest. So this family was well known, okay? So Mattathias came from this man, Simeon. Everybody with me so far? Okay, we're in verse 2 now.
Verse 2. And he had 5 sons.
He had 5 sons. Go ahead.
Jonan, called Caddis. Simon, called Thassi. Judas, who was called Maccabeus. Eleazar, called Avaron. And Jonathan, whose surname was Aphis.
That was verse 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hold on. Jump down to verse 48. I don't want those yet. I want y'all to listen to me. Stay in the spirit. Verse 48.
Verse 48. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
So wait a minute. First Maccabees 2. Jump up to verse 15. I'm sorry.
First Maccabees.
I want to show you how Mattathias got down.
First Maccabees chapter 2, verse 15. In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together. Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise.
Listen good to this. Flattery. This is flatteries. Go ahead.
Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthened with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done, yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem.
Watch this, listen good.
So shalt thou and thy house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
Remember, it said many shall cleave unto them with flatteries. This is an example of it. Go ahead.
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's...
Did it say he whispered? I don't know. Did he whisper?
Then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice, though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him and fall away, every one from the religion of their fathers.
Stop. What's the religion of our fathers, brothers? The laws. The laws. Go ahead.
And give consent to his commandments, yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our fathers. God forbid that we should forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar.
Here we got the nigger right here. Here comes the nigger. Go ahead.
To sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment. Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
Hey, stop. How many of y'all saw on Netflix, Idris Elba, what's that movie? The Harder They Fall. Anybody saw that? There's a scene where he tries to unite everybody in the town. They want to buy the whole town for black people. And one nigger gets up and says, no, we don't want to be under you, and we'd be better off with the white man. He looked, he took out his gun and went, bang! I couldn't stop laughing on that scene. This, as I'm reading this, is from Mom having flashbacks. You always got that one Negro. They got to be different. They got to stand up for wickedness. Read that again.
Verse 23. Now when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar which was at Modin, according to the king's commandment. Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal, and his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger.
So he was so mad. Go ahead.
Neither could he forbear to show his anger according to judgment.
He couldn't hide it. Go ahead.
Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
That's what he did. Go ahead.
Also, the king's commissioner who compelled men to sacrifice, he killed at that time. And the altar he pulled down.
You gonna get it too. You can get it and you can get it. Oh, I love this guy's spirit right here. That's right.
Bishop is saying that, but when you read the beginning, it says that the king came, was officers, was a lot of military people there. Matthias alone didn't kill all of them. Remember what he said? He said, you are strengthened with sons and with brethren. From the time Matthias made a move, Judas, Jonathan, all of them was behind him making moves, killing officers. It was bad. You got to imagine what was going on. From the time Matthias made a move and he killed that dude, his sons and all his brethren understand it's war.
That's right.
This was the uprising.
That's right.
Is when the uprising and the revolution begin.
That's right.
All his brothers like, it's war now.
It's war!
They killed every soldier that was there for Antiochus. They killed every last one of them.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what's so heavy behind verse 25? Like Deacon just said, as soon he killed the king man, he know and his people, there's no turn back.
That's right.
Because they had to talk about each other. As soon as these motherfuckers come up in here, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Where we at?
Verse 26. Thus dealt he zealously for the law of God, like as Phineas did unto Zambri, the son of Salom. And Mattathias cried throughout the city.
References Numbers 25. Go ahead.
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice.
Put him back on the horse. 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 Right. Put that picture. I like that picture. Read it again.
And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me.
Follow me! That's what he did. That's what he did. It's some bad stuff right here. That's what he did. I love it. I'm getting goosebumps reading this. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 28. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that they had in the city.
They left everything behind. And these wasn't no poor people. Remember, they was the priests. They had money. They had wealth. They said, we got to leave all that stuff behind. Let's go. Go ahead.
Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
So they were in the wilderness. Hey, this is why in Hebrews 11, if I'm not mistaken, doesn't it mention many of the prophets, some fled into the wilderness? Yes, sir. You want that? Yeah, give me that real quick so y'all know I ain't crazy. It's somewhere in Hebrews 11. We read it some time ago.
Yes, sir. The book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 37. They were stoned. They were sawn asunder, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, being destitute, afflicted, tormented, of whom the world was not worthy. They wandered in deserts and in mountains and in dens and caves of the earth. And these all, having obtained a good report through faith, received not the promise.
That's it right there. Let's go on back. Let's go on back. So Paul was giving us a summary of what the fathers went through. Where we at?
Verse 30.
Go ahead.
Both they and their children and their wives and their cattle, because afflictions increased sore upon them.
Now, for time's sake, let's jump down to verse 45.
Verse 45.
No, 42.
42. Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians.
Write this down. The Assyrians is where the Pharisees came from. The Assyrians is where the Pharisees came from. Go ahead.
Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law. Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them, and were a stay to them.
Y'all see that right there? I want y'all to pay attention. Watch this. Give me, hold this. I'm going to show you the same thing in the New Testament. 1 Thessalonians, chapter 1. Let me find Thessalonians. Y'all know I'm slow. bear with me, or is it Second Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse
6.
7.
Verse 7.
Watch, listen good.
2 Thessalonians.
No, start at 6. Start at 6.
Yes, sir. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
What does recompense mean? Payback. Read.
And to you who are troubled.
If anybody out there listening is troubled in the spirit, troubled because of the oppression, watch what it says.
Rest with us.
Come, rest with us. Go ahead.
When the Lord Jesus shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels.
I want y'all to see that they did the call to the people. Come rest with us. What Paul did is, now let's go back to Maccabees. And what verse was you in?
Verse 42.
Go ahead.
Then came there unto him a company of Assyrians, who were mighty men of Israel, even all such as were voluntarily devoted unto the law.
Here it comes.
Also, all they that fled for persecution joined themselves unto them and will stay unto them.
Like-minded folks got to be with like-minded folks. This is why we only want you men and women that want to keep the commandments. If you believe you could slut the women out, we don't want you with us. You just stay on the side. Like, go over there. Stay over there. Right. Okay? If you believe you Peter on earth and all of that, we don't want you in your little group with us. You stay out there. We need like-minded men and women that want to keep God's commandments. If you believe that you're Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, we don't want you in your little group smoking marijuana here with us either. I hope y'all understand that. Where we at, Cat?
Verse 44.
Because there's a lot of crazy Israelites out there. Go ahead. If you believe you can rape 12-year-old girls, we don't need you with us. Stay out there with yourselves. Where we at, Cat?
Verse 44. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger and wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for succor.
The rest fled to the heathen for comfort. Wow. Go ahead.
Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars.
This is the daddy. Go ahead.
And what children soever they found within the coasts of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
They had no fear. They had no fear. Go ahead.
They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand.
Watch this.
So they recovered the law.
Stop. Give me the images. They recovered the law of Mattathias holding the books. That's what I want. Come on, IT. Stay with me. Yes, and there should be like 4 or 5 pictures there. Come on, read that again.
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of kings. Neither suffered they the sinners to triumph.
They didn't suffer the sinners to triumph. Go ahead.
Now in the time...
Wait. So why did they have to recover the law? Remember, the Greeks was not only burning them up, the Greeks was taking our records. Mattathias went in there with his boys, his sons and his boys that was with him. We getting our records back. We getting our Bible back. They didn't let our book stay in their hands. Go ahead. So the Bible was not for everybody. You see, that's what it's saying. That book is our book. What are you talking about? Somebody, give me Romans 3:1.
The book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 1. What advantage then have the Jew?
What profit is there in being an Israelite? Go ahead.
Or what profit is there of circumcision?
And what profit is there in being circumcised? Go ahead.
Much every way.
Much every way, meaning the earth was made for us. Go ahead.
Chiefly.
But the main reason is
because that unto them were committed the oracles of God.
To us was committed the Bible. Y'all see that? Psalms 147, 19-20, saying the same thing. Watch this. So the Bible ain't for everybody on the planet.
That's right.
They're reading our records, our testimonies, our laws. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob.
His word unto Jacob. Where Jacob? Go ahead.
His statutes and his judgments unto Israel.
Where the Israelites the Bible speaks of. Go ahead.
He have not dealt so with any nation.
God hath never dealt so with any nation.
And as for his judgments.
And as for his judgments.
They have not known them.
The nations don't know God's laws. Go ahead.
Praise ye the Lord.
Praise the Lord for that thing right there. What you sad for. What you upset for. Praise the Lord for that. He gave you records that nobody else got on the planet. He said, this is for y'all.
That's right.
Hey, Bishop, jump to 3 until 48 to tell you what they try to do with all
I didn't want that yet. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. Where we at now?
We in verse 49.
Go ahead.
Verse 49. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now have pride and rebuke gotten strength in the time of destruction, in the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your fathers. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Jump down to verse 64.
Verse 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant.
Good. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant. Go ahead.
And show yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
See that part right there? Show yourselves men in behalf of the law. Give me that in Kings. Is it 1 Kings 2 and 1? That's what I want. To be a man according to the Most High God means according to God's laws. Anybody can go around and have a baby. Anybody can walk around with a penis. But to be a man according to the Most High God, it deals with dealing in his laws. Read that.
1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man. And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
Let's go back to Maccabees now. 1 Maccabees 2 and 64.
1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 64. Wherefore, ye my sons, be valiant, and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall ye obtain glory.
You want glory, brothers? Do you want glory? Yes, you can only obtain it by the Lord. That's what it's saying. Go ahead.
And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel.
So he knew his sons. He says Simon is a man of counsel. Simon liked to read. Simon liked to think. He was a thinker of the sons. Go ahead.
Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
Come on.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong.
Y'all can put these on the screen, brothers. Come on. I sent them to y'all. Come on.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
So he knew Judas. He said this son liked to fight. And he liked to figure out, he liked to strategize how to beat the bigger boy. You know, some dudes, some kids, they don't like to hang around the little kids with themselves. They want to be with the big boys and fight the big boys. I don't know if y'all have met brothers like that. There's brothers like that. Go ahead, read it again, read it again, read it again.
Verse 66, as for Judas Maccabeus, he hath been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
Come on.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
Stop. Look at 67. Read it again.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law.
That's why the only brothers and sisters we want among us are those that observe the law.
That's
you
right.
nasty, slutty, whoremonger brothers and sisters that can't keep your dick in your pants, y'all could go. Because what? You're going to bring plagues on us. You're going to bring defeat on us. We go to travel, now everybody get jacked up. We're trying to figure out why. Because of you can't keep your pecker in your pants. The sister can't keep her mouth off the man's pecker. We have cases like that, 5 cases. She just got to have it. Here, brother at Passover, here's a story. I got true stories for y'all. I know they think I'm lying. Brother urinating. He talking to his sister. He said, I got to go pee. He goes to the side. Guess what the sister do? She going to run around and grab his pecker while he's peeing. She just so horny. You can't make this stuff up. What the hell is wrong with you? And they ain't even married. I'm sorry. Where we at, Cap?
Verse 67.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
Come on.
Recompense fully the heathen, and take heed to the commandments of the law.
That's right. Go ahead.
So he blessed them and was gathered to his fathers. And he died in the 146th year. And his sons buried him in the sepulchres of his fathers at Modin. And all Israel made great lamentation for him.
That's some heavy stuff right there. Hey, you know what I want? Get Sirach 30 and 3-6. Sirach 30.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 1.
Nope, Sirach 30, verse 3-6.
Yes, sir. Sirach chapter 30 and verse 3. He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
That's what Mattathias did with his sons. Read again.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy.
The white man don't like that. That's why his objective is to divide the family. That's why a lot of you sisters over there is single with kids. The white man has destroyed you, and some of you have not realized it. I'll tell you what's wrong with being a single mother. Everything is wrong with being a single mother. It's not honorable. Well, what if he's what if the baby daddy is this or that? Well, maybe he is this or that. You picked him, didn't you? He was good enough to sleep with. Why wasn't he good enough to marry? You knew he was no damn good when you met him. When you smelled his... Anyway, where were we at?
Verse 3.
Go ahead, read again. I'm sorry.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Oh, here's another one. I'm sorry. I got a story, brothers. It just come back to my mind. Some of y'all getting on my nerves. Y'all said it's too damn simple. Here go a brother. He about to get married. That's why I tell you, sisters don't like brothers talking to me. Bro, who you gonna marry? I'll marry sister so-and-so. I said, bro, how old are you? He said, I'm 46. I said, how old is she? Oh, she's like 32. Yeah, she got any kids? She got 3. She got 3 kids? How old are those kids? Oh, they're in their teens. Teens. You never heard my story about Afro Samurai? Teenage boys, they're not easy to deal with, especially at your age. How many... The baby daddies. Do you know about the baby daddies? He goes. She got 2 baby daddies. 2 baby daddies. Do you know, bruh? Anything that go down with them kids. I said, are the baby daddies still in their lives? He goes, yes. I said, oh, you about to get your behind. I didn't say behind. You about to get your A whipped. Not only by the Afro Samurai kids, but by the baby daddies. They gonna whoop you. Oh, they was young. Some of them, 2 of them was young. They trying to get them 2 in the court, going back and forth to court. So I said, so you can imagine if you try to beat one of the little young ones because they are out of order. You know, daddy number 1 gonna come see you, and daddy number 2 gonna come see you. Are you stupid, bro? Are you looking for trouble? You looking for a behind whooping. That's what you're looking for. And when you get it, don't come, but can y'all help? No. You better go to white man. Go to white man. We told you, bro, don't marry her.
Hey, brothers, if the sister ain't willing to make you the father, if she's still dealing with the baby daddy, don't mess with her. Y'all understand? Because let me tell you all something straight up, man. If a sister still got the baby daddy coming around and all of that, guess what? Most likely he's still hitting it. I'm letting you all know.
That's right.
She's still giving it up to him. A lot of you sisters inside here, you all know the baby daddy's still getting them goodies. You understand? Mm-hmm. When he come around to see the kid, you horny, you ain't got none in 2-3 years, you still giving it up from time to time. Okay, so brothers, be mindful with that.
Mm-hmm. And when you get whooped, because Afro Samurais won't be in the house. And the little young ones, the baby daddy gonna come see you. Don't put your hands on my kids. Don't touch my kids. Babe, ain't they my kids? No, they're their kids. I'll tell y'all simple as hell, some of you men. You so horny, you gonna get up, yep, you gonna be like that.
Hey, Bishop, and they don't call us, we ain't helping you, man.
We ain't helping you.
We know, don't call me for no backup. I ain't coming and fight no baby daddy with you.
Exactly.
Shoot. Stop it. Get some help.
Where are we at? I'm sorry.
We in verse 30.
Oh, chapter 30, what verse?
Yes, sir. Verse 3.
Go ahead.
He that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
Right.
Though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead, for he have left one behind him that is like himself.
Your son is supposed to be in your image. Go ahead.
While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him, and when he died, he was not sorrowful.
You shouldn't be on your deathbed sorrowing because your son's a piece of doo-doo. Go ahead.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
He's always going to support your friends, okay? From there, Psalms 127, verse 5.
The book of Psalms, chapter 127 and verse 5. Happy is the man that have his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate.
You see that part? They shall speak with the enemies in the gate, meaning they're going to stand bold against the enemies. Y'all understand that right there? First Maccabees 3:1.
First Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 1. Then his son Judas.
Hey, put them pictures back up about, come on, y'all are late. They're going to just put the image here. And we done passed 3 scriptures, 4 verses. Now they're going to show the son. Put it on the screen now. Come on, y'all. This is Team B. This is he that teaches son grieves the enemy. Okay? This is what some of you sisters would have had, but you just picked a piece of doo-doo husband or doo-doo. Give me some nice words. A dooney beater. That's what you picked. That's not a nice word. It's not a nice word? That's not a nice word? Okay.
Post up, then
you picked somebody that ain't no damn leave. Good. Where we at?
Verse 1. Chapter 3.
Put the pictures now of the sons back up on the screen. There's no gray in the beards. And you should have like 5 images. All right, First Maccabees 3:1. Come on.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1. Then his son Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up.
What does Maccabeus mean, brothers? Hammer. Very good. They call it in Hebrew Maccaba. Go ahead.
Rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him.
Y'all remember? Hold that. Daniel 11:34. It says all his brethren, keyword, helped him. Daniel 11:34.
The book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 34. Now when they shall fall,
when Mattathias and his brothers shall fall,
they shall be hoping with a little help.
That's that little help, Judah Maccabee. Now go back to 1 Maccabee 3:2.
Verse 2. And all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel. Mm-hmm. So he got his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the hosts with his sword. And his axe he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
They don't need to see me in my weak body, brothers. Can y'all put images? Yeah, this is what we need to see. They don't need to look at me in my little feeble body. What the hell wrong with y'all? This is what we want to see. That's what we're talking about right there. Read it again.
Verse 3. So he got his people great honor, and put on a breastplate as a giant, and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the hosts with his sword. And his axe he was like a lion, and like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey. For he pursued the wicked, and sought them out, and burnt up those that vex his people.
That's some heavy stuff. Come on.
Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand.
Y'all see that right there? Go ahead.
He grieved also many kings, and made Jacob glad with his axe. And his memorial is blessed forever.
Y'all see his memorial is blessed forever. Jump down to 48. Now verse 48 goes back to 1 Maccabees 2. Remember 1 Maccabees 2, I think it was 48 also, where it, let me look, make sure I got it right. Verse 48, yes, when Mattathias recovered the law from the hand of the Gentiles. Now, 1 Maccabees 3:48, read that.
And lay open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Y'all see that? Here's an example of what they found. Okay, put it on the screen. So this is an example. The heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. Now give me the next ones in black and white that I sent you. Give me the images in black and white of the Bibles. Many of your Bibles today have images of Esau, the Greeks, in our records. God in heaven. So give me the next one now. So here's an example of what we're talking about. Okay, these are example what the Greeks did. Give me the next one. These are Bibles. These are our records where they got their images in our book. Okay, give me the next one. There's a lot of them out there. Give me the next one. The This is what they did. They loved putting their images to portray themselves as the Jews, as the Israelites, as the people of God. In fact, in the Bible, they portray themselves as the Egyptians, the Canaanites, they're everybody. Yeah, exactly. Yep, this is what they do. So read it again, verse 48.
Verse 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Read.
They brought also the priest's garments, and the first fruits, and the tithes, and the Nazarites they stirred up, who had accomplished their days. Mm-hmm. Then cried they with a loud voice toward heaven, saying, what shall we do with these? And whither shall we carry them away? For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profane.
Can we put pictures of the sanctuary? Can we put pictures of the sanctuary? Are they reading along with us? They're not reading along with us, so they don't know what's going on. So I got to stop and say, all right, yes. So read that again, I'm sorry.
For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profane.
There's more than one picture there, brothers. Go ahead.
And thy priests are in heaviness and brought low. Mm-hmm. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest.
Stop right there. Let me see who's thinking. Read that verse again.
And lo.
Wait, take it off the screen. I'm going to ask the brothers a question. Read that verse again.
And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest.
Where did we read that? Where did we read that? Only one hand. I think, I know you know, because he seems like he studies. So the brother in the back. Yes, you put your hand up. Yep.
Hey, shalom.
Shalom.
Psalms 2 and 1.
Very good. Psalms, the 2nd chapter. And where else?
In Acts.
Acts what?
I don't know.
Give him next to you.
Hey, shalom, Bishop.
Shalom.
Brother Josiah, Acts chapter 4.
Very good. Saying this, I'm showing you how it's saying from the book of Psalms. Remember, Psalms preceded Maccabees. So from Psalms to Maccabees to Acts chapter 4, it's that ring, brothers, sisters. It's that ring. Read it again.
Verse 52. And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us. What things they imagine against us, thou knowest.
Come on.
How shall we be able to stand against them, except thou, O God, be our help?
Come on.
Then sounded they with trumpets and cried with a loud voice. And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people.
You see that? Read that again, verse 55.
And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people.
There had to be order. Judah Maccabee, that's why his father said he got to be the leader, because he understood order. He said, we need captains over the people. Go ahead.
Even captains over thousands, mm-hmm. and over hundreds, mm-hmm. and over 50s, and over 10s.
So we didn't make this up, brothers. All this is biblical. All this is scriptural. Okay? Read.
But as for such as were building houses, or had betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful, those he commanded that they should return, every man to his own house, according to the law.
That's why we say, if y'all scared, it's okay. We know when you first come in, you might be scared. Just stay a member. You don't have to be an officer right away. You don't have to be a soldier right away. Stay a member, because we know some of you are afraid. Or if you're under your wife, you're in between her legs all day, just stay a member. You don't have to be an officer or soldier. Okay? We got up there. Here we go. I forgot remember this, Lava? We on the boat. Here we go. We tell you, brothers, get in shape. Oh, he's here today. Is he here? Is he here today? He might be here. He might be upstairs. I don't know. This is what we say. Any brother who's overweight, over age, your body's weak and feeble, you know you can't walk a mile or two, stay on the boat. Stay on the ship. I see a big brother walking. Big burly brother. I said, that's a big brother. But the way he's walking, his legs look like if you give a little kick, he's going to collapse. So did I say, are you or Captain Young? One of y'all, I said, hey, that brother right there from New York. He was from New York. I'm sorry. I said, he's big, but something don't look right. Did you go to him and talk to him, or was Jan?
I spoke So he was upset, Bishop.
He was upset. Why was he upset?
He said you embellished on the story.
I embellished on the story? But wait. Did he collapse when we got outside?
Absolutely.
So I didn't embellish it. I knew in the spirit what was going to happen. I said, bro, some of y'all too damn big.
And we gave the brothers the warning before we stepped off the boat. If you're out of shape, if you have a pre-existing condition, stay on the boat.
Right. Ain't no hate. We ain't hating. But we know y'all coming in, some of y'all sick, weak, feeble, old, overweight. Stay on the ship.
Yeah, but Bishop, we offer him the advice. He should have taken the advice.
He didn't take
his
the
name
advice.
will never be mentioned in class.
Bishop, we gave him an out.
You gave him an out.
He was too prideful.
Too prideful. Then collapsed outside. Oh, timber! Like, what the hell is this? How many brothers had to take him back?
Like 4 brothers, 1 for each limb.
Damn, 4 brothers. The brother's too big. Some of you brothers is real big.
Bishop, he didn't make it 50 yards from the boat.
Damn! Couldn't make it 50 yards. I'm telling you, brothers.
Yeah, they don't understand how many seasons you have to put to things to fulfill the hope. So you should have taken the advice.
Just take the advice. It ain't no hate. We just, hey, we're going to be walking a couple of miles. Okay? I remember one time we had to put a brother on a cart to bring him back. We was on one of the Caribbean islands. I forgot which one. He was too damn big. He couldn't walk.
Yeah, you remember one of the fast day, they told Captain Shem, drink water.
Oh,
He show up, the same thing. Take the advice.
Take that advice. Drink water, bro. So now, where we at, Cap? Where we at?
We in verse 55, Bishop.
Go ahead.
And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people, even captains over thousands, and over hundreds, and over 50s, and over 10s.
So we would like, going forward, this is what I asked Deacon Isaac to do. If he need to work, I know he's scared to do it. Deacon Isaac, don't be scared. I might have to have Captain Shem do it. We need to know your BMI, body mass. What's the I stand for? Index. Some of y'all, if you're going to be a captain over thousands and hundreds, 50s and 10s, your BMI should not be, you should not be obese. Because you have to lead men. We out in an international, we say, hey, you take 50 brothers. You're going to take 50. You take 10. And you're going to go over there. You're going to walk 5-mile radius that way. And you out of breath and your men like, yo, what the hell? Come on, y'all. Or if the cops coming and you got to bust a move and you can't do nothing because you got to protect homeboy here. Come on, y'all. Come on. We don't want to embarrass nobody. We don't want to embarrass. Do we want to embarrass nobody? Yes. We don't. No, you hear? Damn. So he said, hey, take good care of your health. Take good care of your health. Come on, y'all. So where we at? I'm sorry.
Verse 56 now.
Go ahead.
But as for such...
And then these same brothers want to get married. And you only got 3 pumps. You know that's all you got in you. 3 pumps and you finished. Oh. And she's like, get off of me! Get off of me! You can't.
Hey,
come on.
Hey, and he ain't saw his thing in decades.
He ain't seen it in a long time. I'm sorry. So we're trying to help you brothers. Get in shape, you know. I know I'm up in age. I do my walk around. We on the ship. We remember, you wasn't with me. We walked around the ship. Just walk. I need to get my little exercise on. Shoot. I got more than 3 pumps. But anyway, I'm sorry. Where we at? Where we at, Cap? I'm sorry.
We in verse 56, Bishop.
56. Go ahead.
Yo, yes, Cap, you got to take Bishop back, man. What's wrong with you, man?
Bring me back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to work on that.
Go ahead.
But as for such as were building houses, or have betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful, those he commanded that they should return, every man to his own house, according to the law.
That's what the law says. Good.
So the camp removed and pitched upon the south side of Emmaus. And Judas said, arm yourselves, and be valiant men, and see that ye be in readiness against the morning, that ye may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us to destroy us and our sanctuary. For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people and our sanctuary. Nevertheless, as the will of God is in heaven, so let him do.
Now let's get to chapter 4. That's where we wanted to get for the Feast of Dedication. Go ahead.
Verse 1. Then took Georges 5,000 footmen.
Gorgias.
5,000 footmen.
Or is it Gorgias? No, I don't like the way it sounds. Sounds like gorgeous. I don't like it. Gorgias.
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Go
Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night, to the end he might rush in upon the camp of the Jews and smite them suddenly. And the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army, which was at Emmaus, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp. In the mean seasons came Georgius.
The mean season, it was cold and rainy.
Gorgias.
It was cold and rainy. That's the mean season. Go ahead.
In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas. And when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains. For said he, these fellows flee from us.
They scared. Go ahead.
But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds.
Meaning they was not trained soldiers, Judas and his men. Go ahead.
And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war.
Yeah, the Greeks were expert of war. Go ahead.
Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude.
Because the natural thing is to be afraid. They outnumber us 10-1. So Judas had to exhort them. Go ahead.
Fear ye not their multitude, not to be ye afraid of their assault. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army. Now therefore, let us cry unto heaven, if peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day.
That's right. Come on.
That so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel.
That's why they had to recover the Bible. That's why they call. Why? To remember. Constant reading. That's why I say the 4 chapters a day. It's no joke. Read it over and over. I don't care if you read the Bible already. Read it again. Keep reading. You're going to see something different. So Judas was able to exhort the men with the Holy Scriptures. Go ahead.
Then the strangers lifted up their eyes and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of the camp to battle. But they that were with Judas sounded their trumpets. So they joined battle. And the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain. Howbeit, all the hindmost of them was slain with the sword. For they pursued them unto Gezerah, and unto the plains of Idumea, and Azotus, and Jamnia, so that there was slain of them upon 3,000 men. This done, Judas returned again with his hosts from pursuing them, and said to the people, be not greedy of the spoils, and as much as there is a battle before us.
Guys, wait, 17 again.
And said to the people, be not greedy of the spoils, and as much as there is a battle before us.
See, he understood. If you're greedy for the spoil, what would the enemy do while you're bending down trying to get the money and all that, whatever it is? You get attacked right then. Go ahead.
And Gorgias and his hosts are here by us in the mountain. But stand ye now against our enemies and overcome them. And after this ye may boldly take the spoils. As Judas was yet speaking these words, there appeared a part of them looking out of the mountain, who when they perceived that the Jews had put their host to flight and were burning the tents, for the smoke that was seen declared what was done. When therefore they perceived these things, they were sore afraid. And seeing also the host of Judas in the plain ready to fight, they fled every one into the land of strangers.
They got the hell out of Dodge. They were scared now. Go ahead.
Then Judas returned to spoil the tents, where they got much gold and silver and blue silk and purple of the sea and great riches. After this they went home and sung a song of thanksgiving.
Now see that? They praised the Lord in song. Read that again.
After this they went home and sung a song of thanksgiving and praised the Lord in heaven, because it is good, because his mercy endureth forever.
Let's jump down to verse 37 now, for time's sake.
Verse 37. Upon this, all the hosts assembled themselves together and went up into Mount Zion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate.
So the sanctuary was desolate. Can we show the sanctuary desolate? It shouldn't be too difficult. The sanctuary was desolate. Read on.
And the altar profane.
Wait, what am I looking at? No, that's not desolate. That's not desolate. I sent you desolate. Yes, that is desolate. Wow. Woo, read that again.
Verse 38. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profane, and the gates burned up, and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priest's chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their heads and fell down flat to the ground upon their faces and blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried toward heaven. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary.
So let's see who he chose.
So he chose priests of blameless conversation.
Y'all see that right there? Read.
Such as had pleasure in the law.
Hold on. Hold on. Read 42 again.
So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law.
Give me 2 Peter 3. Watch this. 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. It might be verse 10 or 9.
Yes, sir. 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. But the day of the Lord will come.
Nope, that ain't it. It's
verse 11. Holy conversation.
Yes, that's it right there.
Yes, sir. Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Y'all see that? Now, wait. Hold that and read the one you just read in Maccabees, what he chose.
Yes, sir. First Maccabees, verse 42. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law.
Brothers, sisters, y'all need to be around brothers and sisters who have pleasure in the law.
That's
that when
right.
you're around each other, you talking about the book. Even if you see a movie, you're relating that movie back to the book. Okay? Everybody understand that? So the same thing that Judas did back then is what Peter is saying. Read 2 Peter 3 and 11
Peter,
again.
Verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved.
The earth's going to be, America's going to be dissolved, destroyed. Go ahead.
What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Let's go back. Let's go back to Maccabees.
Verse 43. Who cleanse the sanctuary and bear out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And when as they...
Now, the stones was defiled from the altar. Give me the images where they were defiled. The altar was defiled with the swine. Yes. The altar was defiled with swine. It's not no swine supposed to be on the altar, but that's what happened. Okay? That is what happened. So they had to do what? So let's read that again. What verse?
Verse 43. Who cleanse the sanctuary and bear out the defiled stones into an unclean place. And when as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane, they thought it best to pull it down.
They said, pull down the altar. Go ahead.
Lest it should be a reproach to them.
Why?
Because the heathen had defiled it. Wherefore they pulled it down.
Now listen good to verse 46.
And laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them.
So that part right there, until there should come a prophet to show them what should be done with them. Judas and them never claimed to know everything. Brothers, we don't know everything. When we sit around going on scripture, sometimes I'll tell you that's above our pay grade. I don't know. We don't know. Some things we may know in time, but right now, some things we don't know. So Judas and them, they didn't have that pride to fake it, make it till you fake it. They didn't, was it fake it till you make it? They didn't do that. So, we don't know. Just pull it down until a prophet comes and tell us what to do. Go ahead.
Then they took whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former and made up the sanctuary and the things that were within the temple and hollowed the courts. They made also new holy vessels.
They made also new holy vessels. Go ahead.
And into the temple they brought the candlestick and the altar of burnt offerings and of incense and the table. And upon the altar they burnt incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted.
Wait a minute. What is the lamps that's upon the candlestick? Because we read it several times and I never asked the question. So I need to ask. Stand up, somebody. You know? Okay, give him the mic. Get the brother the mic. So the question is, what is the lamps that were upon the candlestick?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you. It's on.
Green's leadership, that's the menorah.
That's the menorah. Where can we read about that?
I forget, but I know.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Okay. That's fine. Hold the mic. How many branches does the menorah have? How do you know that? Use the mic. Use the mic.
It's in the Bible. It's in the book of Revelation.
It's in the book of Revelation.
The seven spirits of God.
Okay. That's secondary. That's all right.
Okay.
That's good. Let me hear that brother in the back.
Hey, Shalom leadership. It's in Exodus 25:37.
Okay, let's get Exodus 20. And the reason I'm saying this, here we got brother in I think it's Atlanta, Greenleaf in Atlanta. His wife gets a 9-branch menorah, and think what's wrong with it? I don't know. I don't understand. Can we read? Give me Exodus 24. Give me 31 and 32. I want that one.
Yes, sir. You want to start at 31, Bishop?
Yeah. Hey, I want that menorah. Zeph, bring me that menorah right there. I want that. Damn, don't break everything. Just put it. Can y'all see that? Can y'all raise it up on the camera? Okay, go ahead and read. 31.
Exodus.
I want 31.
Yes, sir. Exodus 25, verse 31.
And
thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold.
So the candlestick of pure gold, the stick itself is the one in the center. This is the candlestick of pure gold. Go ahead.
Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made.
Go ahead.
His shaft and his branches.
This is the shaft, and these are the branches. Go ahead.
His boughs, his knops.
Because there was knops in there. There was knots in like made of a design with trees and leaves. Go ahead.
And his flowers shall be of the same.
Watch this.
And 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it.
The 6 branches shall come out of the side of it. 6 branches. 6 branches shall come out of the side of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go ahead.
3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side.
3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side.
And 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side.
And 3 branches on the other side. Thank you, Captain Zeph. Everybody understand that?
That's
so,
right.
sisters, please stop with the ignorance. What's wrong with the 8 candlestick? What's wrong with that? This is what we keep hearing from women. And mostly it's the single sisters. Pay attention. Pay attention. Let's go on back.
Yes, sir. Verse 49. They made also new holy vessels, and into the temple they brought the candlestick, and the altar of burnt offerings, and of incense, and the table. And upon the altar they burned incense, and the lamps that were upon the candlestick they lighted, that they might give light in the temple.
So if they lighted the candlestick, there had to be what? Oil. When you look at Amalek, they say, oh, there was no oil there, so that's why it was a miracle. Well, it says they lighted, and that they might give light in the temple. There had to be light there, oil in there. Go ahead.
Furthermore, they set the loaves upon the table, and spread out the veils, and finished all the works which they had begun to make. Now on the 25th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning, and offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar of burnt offerings, which they had made.
Come on.
Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that was it dedicated with songs.
What day did the heathen profane it? Anybody remember what day it was? I'm hearing different answers. The 25th, correct, of what month? Caslu, what number month is that? No, wait, I think I stand corrected. I believe it is the 9th. It is, you're right. I was wrong when I said the 11th earlier. I'm getting mixed up. So you're correct, I stand corrected. It was the 9th month, okay? Because I'm getting Esau's calendar mixed up. So remember, December is the 10th. November is the 9th. So Caslu was the 9th. So the 9th moon, they would count, and it fell on the 25th. Okay, it was the same day that it was profaned. Okay, so put that in your notebooks. It's the 9th month, the 9th new moon. Ain't nobody correct me over there? The hell is this? You didn't hear me say 11th? So why don't you correct me? Where we at?
Verse 54.
Okay, go ahead.
Look, at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it. Even in that was it dedicated with songs and citherns and harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven, who had given them good success.
That's right. Come on.
And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
How many days?
8 days.
How many days, brothers? 8 days. Go ahead.
And offered burnt offerings with gladness, and sacrificed the sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
Who fulfills the sacrifice today, brothers? Only one brother knew the answer? Everybody? Christ. Thank you. Woo! Lord have mercy. Come on.
They deck also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields, and the gates.
And when it says shields, Zeph, can you hold me up the shield right there? Here we go. We get these Israelites talking about the Magen David is that there. This is the shield. This is the shield. It's not talking about the 6-point star. Everybody understand that? The hell is this? Thank you, Captain. Woo! Where we at?
Verse 57.
57. Go ahead.
They deck also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold, and with shields, and the gates and the chambers they renewed, and hang doors upon them. Thus was a very great gladness among the people.
So we was happy. Go ahead.
For that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in the season.
What season was it, brothers? How do we know that? John 10:22. Exactly. Go ahead.
Should be kept in the season from year to year.
Anyway, how do we know it was ordained by God? Because the Son of God kept it. Everybody understand that? Go ahead.
By the space of 8 days, from the 5 and 20th day of the month Caslu.
So Caslu was what month? What number month, brothers? 9th month. Very good. Go ahead. That would be today our what? No. Very good. November. Everybody with me so far? November, that's the Latin for 9. December. Y'all, it's Latin for 10. Okay, I know the problem because I get mixed up with Esau's calendar too, because they start with January and I be getting, that's it, that's what it is. So we're going to read it again.
Moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in that season from year to year by the space of 8 days, from the 5 and 20th day of the month Caslu with mirth and gladness.
Mirth and gladness. Come on.
At that time also, they builded up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before. And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
12 tribes! 12 tribes! What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? And never forget that, brothers. With that, we say shalom.
That's right.